detail about why Dream's use of the R
Like, can it not fucking do that, neck ass?
word is
Alright, we're just
problematic.
gonna
His
test.
audience fully agreed with this response.
Dude,
with a
hello
comment
everyone, and
as
welcome
a
back to the
disabled
Week.
person
Today
myself,
we're gonna be building.
specifically
We're gonna be
autism,
building.
it
We're gonna
hurts
be
so effing
building.
much.
Like, can it not do that, neck ass? Alright, we'll turn it down like the tiniest bit, my neck ass. Alright, that should be good.
To have people call me and others the arslur. It's so effed up,
Alright,
and
we
it
gotta-
makes me really happy
we
to
gotta
have a
start.
content creator that's a big part of my life and I look up to stand up to speak about it. I love that you aren't shying away from it. You were calling him out for this because it's really, really not okay. Thank you, Tommy. More importantly, Dream's own fans were also in complete agreement with Tommy, especially since Dream had spoken out against the use of the word read in previous tweets, reading, I don't personally support using the word retard. I feel enough people find it offensive that if you're a content creator,
No, it's
you should
okay.
take it out of your vocabulary. This made him look like the biggest hypocrite, someone who used the word to virtual signal to others, but when he wanted to insult the intelligence of someone else's fan base, this was the only word that came to mind. That being said, this wasn't the only thing Tommy wanted to talk about in his video.
No,
He
it's
came
okay.
in loaded and started accusing Dream and his friends of various other offenses, like talking about his time in the Dream SMP and how Dream made him feel inferior after giving him some YouTube advice.
4 years ago, you were awful to me.
Ooh.
When I was 16, you gave me YouTube advice, and you held that over my head for years. You didn't treat me like an equal, and you made me feel small.
Tommy called him out for being an alleged sexist who allegedly badmouths women behind the scenes.
And you and
Okay,
your
I don't give a fuck. Alright. Wait, this stops the game, right? Yeah. Do an album. Songs about fucking. Why is nobody here? Uh-oh. Is it okay? It's okay. Oh no, I don't. Alright. I'm scared what could be in this. No, we're good, we're good. No, no. 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 Ah!
On November 29,
Bah.
2007, an anonymous 4chan user uploaded a disturbing post with the words, "If anyone can correctly guess their own post number, I will tell you where she is buried." Eerily, the post was accompanied by an image of a teenage girl. For context, on 4chan, each thread is assigned a unique post number, which is completely
No, it's
random
okay.
and serves as an identifier for that specific post. These kinds of posts where the OP would reward other users with something if they managed to guess their exact post number were pretty common. But the rewards themselves were rarely this dark and specific. You can probably understand how the creepy nature of this particular post instantly caught the attention of so many people. It's worth mentioning that the dates and times from the screenshots shown are the archive dates and times, meaning they're not accurate. But over the following minutes after the post was made, several other users jumped in to guess their post numbers. And just 15 minutes later, a user correctly guessed theirs.
7 second
After which the OP
surgery.
made good on their promise and said, "Winner, here you..."
Non.
You go, and then a set of coordinates. Strangely, the coordinates pointed to a pretty random patch of trees on the side of a county road about 50 miles east of El Dorado, Kansas. But as it was later revealed, there was nothing random about the location. The girl in the image in the
She's
anonymous
dead.
user's post was 18-year-old Emily Sander, a Butler Community College student who had gone missing a little less than a week before the disturbing post was made.
No, it's okay.
Shockingly, the police found Sanders' partially clothed body around an hour after the coordinates were revealed at the exact coordinates provided by the user. It's important to mention that by the time the uploader revealed the coordinates on 4chan, the cops had already been investigating Emily's disappearance for a few days, and they were already zeroing in on a suspect. As the investigation had revealed, Emily had disappeared on November 23rd of that year after leaving a bar outside El Dorado with a man named Israel Mirales.
These men.
According
She
to
shouldn't
two
have been at the
witnesses,
bar.
Israel had bought Emily and her friends drinks at a Chinese restaurant in El Dorado before accompanying them at a bar called The Retreat. After the two left the bar, Emily was never seen alive again. Following the finding of some pretty compelling evidence of Israel's involvement in Emily's disappearance, the authorities put out a warrant for his arrest. But by then, Israel had already fled to Mexico.
But he didn't do
Fortunately, due
anything.
to the severity of the crimes, the cops were able to extradite him back to Kansas for interrogation. During his testimony, the suspect claimed that after they had left the bar, he and Emily had gone back to a motel room together. According to his version of the events, at one point in the night, another man had shown up at the motel room and tried to rob him, after which he allegedly left the motel alone. When he came back a few
I'm
hours
scared.
later, Sanders was supposedly dead. The story is already kind of hard to believe, especially when you factor in that after allegedly finding the lifeless victim in the room, Israel claimed that he panicked, put her body in the trunk of his
Wait.
car, and headed to a house where his 16-year-old pregnant girlfriend was staying in nearby Baxter Springs. Again, this was already a huge stretch, and it didn't exactly help Israel.
If this is it, it's a swing and a miss. Yeah, yeah.
At his girlfriend's home in Baxter Springs. When it was more than obvious that Israel was responsible for the crime, a judge sentenced him to life in prison without parole. As for the
Just for
4chan thread, I
now.
couldn't find any official confirmation that the post was uploaded by Israel. And it's worth mentioning that because the coordinates were revealed a little under an hour before the cops officially announced where they had found Emily, the thread could have been opened by someone on the police force who knew about the location before the public. Still, there's a very real possibility that the 4chan post was uploaded by the killer
Damn it,
himself,
Star.
adding an even more disturbing layer
Ah.
to an already horrific crime. On August 25, 2009, a 4chan user opened a thread with the title, "Look What I Found." The caption read, "So I was looting through some
That's a
stuff
bomb.
my dad left when he
Allahu
died, and I
Akbar.
found this. The old bastard had a live grenade. It seems kinda old, but looks okay to me. What would the random board do with it?" Next to the caption was an image of the OP's hand holding what appeared to be a live grenade. For the next 15 minutes, the thread was flooded with all kinds of comments from users all around the world, with some claiming that the grenade was fake and asking the uploader for proof that it was made out of real metal and wasn't just a plastic imitation. Let me see the bottom of it. Bottom. It's plastic, lol. No plastic, dimwit, it's all metal. With this comment, the OP included an image of himself holding up a lighter to a grenade, which is obviously a horrific idea.
No, it's okay.
Still, it was nothing compared to what was coming. Disturbingly, some of the other commenters encouraged the poster to throw the grenade in the toilet, saying things like, "Toss in toilet, don't flush, wait for epic fountain." You would think that the OP would be able to interpret the comment as a joke, but sure enough, a few minutes later he posted another image, this time showing his hand holding the live grenade over the toilet along with the
There's
caption,
pee in the toilet.
"Should I?" This is where the story gets pretty disturbing.
Uh-oh.
After posting this image, the OP suddenly went silent. Over the following minutes, other commenters jumped in to ask him what he ended up doing with the grenade, but there was no response from the OP. Shortly after,
Is
a
he
commenter uploaded a
stupid?
screenshot of an article that had been published by a news station in Guatemala that same day. Chillingly, the article broke the story of a 17-year-old boy named Oscar Lopez who had passed away after detonating a live grenade in the bathroom of his house. According to the article, the boy's dad had been involved in the military at some point, which explains why it was in his home. Because of the timing, most of the commenters concluded that Oscar Lopez was the OP, and immediately condemned the users who encouraged him to throw the grenade in the toilet. In the weeks following the incident, several news stations from Spanish-speaking countries published the story, which brought a lot of attention to the original thread on 4chan. Over the
4chan.
years, the story of Oscar's grenade has been reposted all over the internet thousands of times. And it's made its way into dozens of YouTube videos covering the most disturbing incidents caused by online threads.
No, it's okay.
However, through my research, I wasn't able to find the original article or anything that would indicate that the story was real. Even after spending hours searching through online
Then why is
archives,
it
I
on
found
this?
absolutely no trace of the original article, which suggests that the article could have been faked. The only articles I did find were the ones that were published after the incident and cited only the original, non-existent article as their source. It's also pretty suspicious that the article was allegedly published pretty much within an hour of the OP's last comment, which further supports the idea that the whole thing was faked. It's possible that the OP himself could have posted the photoshopped article screenshot from another account to get attention. Or that he could have made the original post and then went quiet to get a reaction from the crowd, after which another user could have jumped in to keep the story going with a fake news article. Although, it's still very possible this is real, and the original article has just since been lost to time. Because the incident is over 15 years old at this point, we'll likely never know the whole truth.
No.
Back in 2009, dozens of 4chan users started to bring attention to a pretty strange phenomenon that was taking place all over the internet, in which some mysterious comments about key lime pie were cropping up on
Key lime
countless websites,
pie.
blogs, and forums everywhere online. Although the original 4chan threads in which these discussions took place have since been deleted, I was able to find some more recent Reddit threads covering the same key lime pie phenomenon. In 2016, Reddit user KeyLimeWTF uploaded a long post about his or her investigation into the whole thing, and it read, "So, I'm just gonna throw this one out there since I haven't found anyone who's investigated or discussed this super weird, almost nonsensical mystery. To begin, I was reading a story in my local college newspaper. In fact, it was the most read article on the site. There were 3 comments on the story itself, and one of them seemed utterly strange. There's an absurd amount of references to pop culture names as well as some political names. But the subject of every line relates back to, more often than not, these things. Mrs. Anita Pelaez, Captain Coochie Pelaez, Key Lime Pie, some Coochie's restaurant, North Carolina near the Biltmore Estate, Key West, Florida. And not every post is exactly the same, but some are. Some reference weird pop culture icons, while some just seem to be weird out-of-place pie recipes. The oldest post we found was from 2009, with the most recent being an awful TMZ story. Super weird, but if you were to Google or research those names associated with key lime pie, what you would discover is that this has been posted all over US media sites. A couple of things here that we discovered down the rabbit hole. Coochie's Key West Bar and Grill existed in one way or another. It's listed on local eatery websites and Google Maps, but there's really no information as to what exactly it was. The majority of the posts we found were done by a Jake Carson, a fake name, or by celebrity/political figures. Nothing totally makes sense, yet everything is related. Also, who would go through this much trouble for something as ridiculous as key lime pie for a restaurant that isn't real?
Stop.
I found that pretty much everything the OP was talking about in their post was perfectly true. There are indeed thousands upon thousands of strange comments and reviews about Captain Coochie's key lime pies on countless random websites. And a lot of these comments have appeared on sites that have absolutely nothing to do with pie, such as this extremely long and somewhat inappropriate comment that was posted on a memorial site for a woman from San Jose who passed away at 74. As I also found, a lot of these comments are posted in articles and blogs revolving around suggestive content, such as this other one that appears in an article
That
about
took
a dating show.
9 hours
It
to
reads,
respond. That's
that
okay.
Captain Coochie Pelaez of Cucharidaville over in Asheville, North Carolina, sure enough is one wild and crazy guy. All the women are so wild about him and his famous cheeseburgers and key lime pies. But even though these comments are definitely weird, these are just 2 of thousands of accounts that have been created to post these comments everywhere online. As you might have noticed, the phrasing of these rants seem to follow a bit of a pattern. In pretty much all of the comments, almost all the words have been capitalized where they shouldn't be, and the poster always signs off in the same way, with 3 dots after the last word, followed by a fake name. I found that these comments have also been made on random Facebook posts. As you might have guessed, a bunch of people over the years have reached out to these Facebook accounts, and the responses they've gotten have been pretty disturbing, as you can see in this 2016 Reddit thread. The post reads, I decided to send Coochie Pelaez a message and ask him when the world can know who Captain Coochie is. I didn't expect a reply, but roughly a month later, Coochie replied.
My Run the Gauntlet smells good. Is this sad?
A portion of today's video is sponsored by Casetify. More about them at the end of this video. Stick around if you want to see me drop my iPhone onto a hard surface from above my head. Hey humans, it's Hannah. Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, I do videos on creepy and disturbing things. Today we're starting possibly a new series on my channel that I'm going to call Infamous Internet. The first episode of this series is going to be Run the Gauntlet.
I know
now, for
that.
those of you who have been around for a long time, really quick note, yes, I got a new audio setup. I upgraded.
Do we care? We
quite a
care.
bit.
We
Finally,
love
after
Hannah.
several years of doing this,
37
I
minutes?
used the money I make from the business to invest in a much better audio system. That being said, I still have my lapel mic plugged into my camera as well, because I am very not tech savvy yet and I haven't figured out all the audio interfaces and all that. So I'm gonna have both mics on for a few videos so that I have a backup just in case my Shure is not working properly or I don't set it up properly, okay? Let's get right into the video. This video was 1000% inspired by my Patreon Discord server. One of my Patreons, I don't remember how we got on the topic over there, but one of my Patreons over there was talking about how they hadn't played this game or they've done this internet challenge in quite some time and how they wanted to go back and redo it. Anyway, we started talking about these kind of videos for quite a while over there and it sent me down quite the rabbit hole and I got very inspired because I love nostalgia and I love disturbing things, so I really love those like old school internet viral challenges and things like that. I believe we touched on this briefly on the Do Not Research iceberg. I believe it was in that iceberg, but I just want to make its own video about it and we're going to go into the details about what this challenge is and what's in it. So if you guys end up liking this video, I'm going to make it into a series. You can let me know if you like it by simply liking the video. That helps out the channel a lot. Leave me a comment as well is of course always optional, but also really helps out the channel. And if it does well, I'll make it into a series, Infamous Internet, where we talk about creepy old internet legends and lore and challenges. So the phrase run the gauntlet or running the gauntlet is actually a phrase that preceded this internet challenge. Running the gauntlet was actually a form of real corporal punishment that has been used for centuries. The person who was deemed guilty or the person that needed to be quote unquote punished would be forced to run between two lines of soldiers, and the soldiers would be striking the person as they ran through this tunnel of people.
Oh, I need to close my door. Oops. Humans.
With sticks and other weapons, and the only way they could get out of it was by moving forward and going through the entire tunnel of people. This phrase can also be used now in the metaphorical sense. It can mean somebody overcoming some sort of public scrutiny or attack. So that's the origin of the phrase. Let's talk about Run the Gauntlet Internet Challenge. Run the Gauntlet is a website that contains this challenge where there are 20 videos in a certain order. The videos start off as beginner, and then after a few beginner level videos, it goes to the easy level videos, and then to medium, to hard, and then the very last deepest level, if you will, is called insane. So it's kind of even iceberg format. The reason it's a challenge is because all 20 of these videos are shock videos. And if you're not familiar with what a shock video is, although I'm sure most of you are, but shock videos are essentially gore videos. Most of the time they're gore. Sometimes they involve just disgusting stuff that most of us do not get pleasure from watching. The object of the game is to watch all 20 videos in order without looking away. You can see how the challenge got its name from the original Run the Gauntlet phrase, because it's about doing something very unpleasant and you cannot stop until you're done. The only way out of it is to move forward and finish it. Now, I haven't told you what the website is called yet because I want to warn you before I name it. The website is very much not safe for work. not safe for life, I would say. Without even opening the challenge, if you merely go to this website, the website is basically another kind of live leak website. It's filled with other shocking videos and news stories with videos that go along with it. The titles themselves, they're not graphic usually, but they're pretty disturbing. And then just due to the nature of the site, there's also a ton of ads on it. So I want to make that very clear before anybody even thinks about going to this website. Just know that that's what awaits you there. Consider your current environment before visiting. Obviously, I don't recommend that anybody goes on this website. However, if you do and you're so inclined, now that you know what you're getting into, please all I ask is that you're at least 18 years old. I hope the vast majority of my audience is already over 18. That's who I'm aiming for. But please just be over 18 if you're even thinking about going on this website. It's a lot. So the website is called runthegauntlet.org.
There's a googly!
To runthegauntlet.org and you click on the Gauntlet tab at the top of the page, it will take you directly to level 1 of the challenge. Now, it'll come with a warning that says you cannot skip to the next video without finishing the one you're on. You cannot pause a video in the challenge. It doesn't allow you to do that. In the midst of the challenge while you're on a video, you can click on the video to start it, but if you click on it again, it just starts the video over. There's no pausing or stopping until the video runs through. There is, of course, a stop button at the bottom for people that don't want to do it anymore, so there is a way to completely exit the challenge. Or, of course, you could just close your browser. It's not like it's holding you hostage there, but the point of it is to make it
30
harder
seconds
for you to just dip out and to it basically encourages you to keep going by not having these pause buttons and no skip buttons. If you're willing to go to this website, there is also a cringe version of Run the Gauntlet that is safe for work. It's all just very ridiculous videos that are just very, very cringe. The cringiest of the cringiest videos on the internet, but nothing.
Let's do it. Bump, bump, ba-da-dump. Oh, I think I gotta be careful going on here. Puke-inducing? That's bad. Uh-oh, wait, hold on. Let me switch. I don't know what's in DMs. Okay, so then anything bad. Good. Boom, 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 boom. It's not in the mind.
Hi, my name is Carla Shaw. You can stop at 5 or 6 stores or just one. I don't need friends. They disappoint me.
Hi, I'm Todd LaRue. You could stop at 5 or 6 stores, or just one. I feel like a deer in the headlights of love.
Honey, you've got a big storm coming. You could stop at 5 or 6 stores, or just one.
She said it wrong.
You could stop at 5 or 6 stores, or just one.
Where's
Can I ask you kind of a weird question?
You could stop at 5 or 6 stores,
Ew.
or just one.
Damn, how long is this?
Queen of the universe. The waves part, and they engulf me, and the water is warm.
Or just one. I can see the Statue of Liberty from here.
You could stop at 5 or 6 stores with just one. I can't stand it when she touches me.
People say
What?
that time heals all wounds.
Damn, finally. Okay, well that wasn't really cringy. That just went on forever. There's a googly! Ah! Uh-oh.
Thank you for a good evening.
Alex,
Yes?
come on.
Come on, what?
It's your life. Take a chance.
I'll take a chance when I'm ready.
Bitch. What the hell is this?
Sorry. I warned ya.
Finally.
There's a good chance that most of your users are already on Facebook, and for the ones who aren't, they probably will be soon.
Oh, fuck. What the hell is that? Okay, good. Dumbass. Okay, I can't watch this while, like, I'm busy.
Inappropriate is on those videos. I've done some of that one too, and it is indeed cringy. For the gauntlet itself, I have made it through most of it. I will admit that I did go to a different screen at certain parts, or there's a couple of videos in there that I know I didn't want to see, so I straight up just did not watch and turned my sound off. And yes, that's cheating, and I have no illusions that I've succeeded or won at running the gauntlet. I'm not pretending I do. I did it for research purposes only to make this video. So yes, I've seen most of the challenge, but no, I haven't won the challenge in the traditional sense. Regardless, for this video,
Why are
the
you
whole
making
point of
this
this video
video?
is to go over the challenge itself and go into what each video entails. This video is perfect for those of you who are a little desensitized and are very curious but don't actually want to see this stuff. You just want to know what's in it for your morbid curiosity's sake. It's also good for people that are thinking about actually going to watch it to see if they can handle it and make a better educated decision on whether they actually want to go watch it. But I do want to be very, very clear here that the rest of this video might not be for you. Now, I apologize for all the disclaimers, but anytime I do a video like this, the disclaimers are very important. The rest of this video is not going to be graphic, of course. I can't show anything like that on YouTube. There will be a couple still photos from the videos before anything happens, but I can't do that on all the videos because some of the videos are that bad, but I will be showing some stills from some of the videos where I can. There is also one video in the midst that involves animal cruelty, so I will not be going into any sort of detail on that one. You're on your own if you want to know about that one. That being said, for some people, even knowing what happens in these videos can be very, very upsetting. I remember when I first heard about this kind of stuff, I could not get it out of my head for days, and it was really, really upsetting to me, and I remember wishing that I had never heard it to begin with. I wasn't as desensitized back then, but I just want to stress that if shock videos aren't for you, or you feel like you don't want to know the depraved things that humans are capable of, that's not a bad thing. There is no shame in not wanting to know this stuff. They're called shock videos for a reason. They're supposed to shock you. They're supposed to be upsetting. And yes, of course, I care about my channel. I care about watch time, but not at the expense of anyone's mental health. The last thing I want is for somebody to regret watching one of my videos and being upset by absolutely anything that I have done directly or indirectly. So if that's you, if this isn't for you, there's no shame. Thank you, and I will see you in my next video. Okay, thank you so much for bearing with me through those very important disclaimers. For those of you that are still here and are still ready, let's get into the actual
Let's get down to business.
These are fairly tame. The very first level of Run the Gauntlet shows two women arm wrestling. Here's a picture of them before anything happens. The woman on the right here, her arm is gonna straight up break in the video after they start the game, and you can hear the sound in the video. It's absolutely awful, and I hope someone took her to the damn hospital. I assume they did. She was surrounded by people that seemed to care about her. Level 2 is called Jackass Paper Cuts.
Jackass.
It's a thing from Jackass the movie. Jackass was originally a TV series, and then they made some movies out of it. If you're not familiar with it, Jackass is essentially, I believe, mostly men. I will be honest, I haven't seen the movies. I have no desire to see them. It's not my thing. But it's mostly men being jackasses. I don't know how else to describe it. They're doing pranks, they're doing stunts, and most of them are very dangerous in nature or just very not socially acceptable. The video in Run the Gauntlet is
Johnny
a clip in the movie that shows
Knoxville.
Johnny Knoxville receiving paper cuts by another man in the webs of his hands and feet.
Yeah, it feels yummy.
I hate stuff like this, like little cuts and things.
No,
oh
it's
my
okay.
God, it makes me lightheaded to think about stuff like this, which is weird because I'm not afraid of needles. I'm not afraid of gore and everything, but things like this, I don't know
A
what it
Sigma.
is, but I can't stand it. Level 3 and the last video in the beginners is Russian roulette knife cup test footage. This is a video of a man who screws up a magic trick. It's this video clip of a magician named Brian Bushwood who is practicing his knife cup roulette trick. The trick is spinning a table with the
Around
knife
here
pointed
somewhere.
face up, but they're styrofoam cups covering 4 spots on the table. So Brian spins the table very quickly, so it seems like he can't
Alright,
possibly know which cup
time to
has
head
the
back
knife.
out.
And then the end of the trick is he slams his hand down on the cups one by one, creating this tension as the audience believes he's about to slam his hand down on the knife. But the magic part is that he uses his psychic abilities to know where the knife is. The video in Run the Gauntlet is Brian failing the trick and accidentally picking the cup.
Yeah, but
that
it feels
has the
good, so
knife
it's
underneath
okay.
it. And it looks like in the video he stabs himself through the hand. Turns out this video is fake and was staged. Brian actually has his own YouTube video about this particular viral video and says that he made this video for his friends at The Tonight Show. And I believe he goes on to perform this failed trick on The Tonight Show. It's a different magic trick. It's a magic trick in itself. He doesn't reveal how he knows which cup has a knife and which one doesn't. But he does explain that if you look very carefully in the video, you can see something taped to the back of his hand before he slams it down. And you can also see in the video that he's very careful to try to keep his hand this way so you can't see what's taped on the back of his hand throughout the video. He explains in the video that he actually just taped cardboard to look like a knife and then covered it in aluminum foil and then used a little ketchup around it to make it look like blood. The video is so grainy that you can't tell the difference. And sure enough, if you do look carefully, if you were to watch this video, you can see a flash of it on the back of his hand. So this whole thing was confirmed to be fake. Okay, we are moving on to the easy levels, which are just a little harder than the beginner levels. Level 4, the first in the easy level, is called Japanese Puke Lesbians. It's a scene from it's exactly what it sounds like. Vomit and other things are involved. There's not really a story behind it. I couldn't find anything about who the women are or if it was real or fake. But if Two Girls, One Cup has taught us anything, it's knowing that we just shouldn't dig too hard at these things, you know, Rule 34 and all that. Video 5 is a woman being stabbed. This is a video of a woman being repeatedly stabbed by what the video says is an ex-lover, and that he is repeatedly stabbing her in broad daylight as bystanders watch in horror and they feebly try to help. I can't find anything about the background of this video. I have done every Google combination of keywords, and the basic problem on verify, I do believe this is a real video, but I can't find if the woman was okay, etc., because unfortunately there's a ton of videos like this out there, and there's a ton of news stories very similar to this out there. It's really, really messed up. However, I haven't seen this entire video, and I can confirm that the woman gets up and walks away. At the end, she is conscious and definitely not well, but she is well enough to walk away, so I am going to go ahead and assume that she got medical care and survives. But like I said, can't confirm the country or exactly where this happened. The 6th video is actually not too bad in my opinion, especially because again, the guy survives in this one, so it's actually quite a relief. But level 6 shows the scene of a car accident. This man gets in a car accident and his car catches on fire and he's trapped inside. The video shows bystanders, I assume, but somebody kicking in the windshield for him, and then he's able to crawl out of the vehicle and it saves his life. He is on fire, which is the most disturbing part, but you don't see that much of it. And the fire is quickly put out and he stands up again and he seems to be obviously, of course, not okay, but relatively so, alive and conscious. Level 7 was the last level in the easy levels. Not sure why this was in the easy levels, but it was actually deleted from Run the Gauntlet altogether, and I think we can all agree that that's okay with us. I'm not going to go into the details here, but I'll just say that it involves a very, 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 very young child. I think they've removed any videos that involve kids. There is one we're going to talk about later that involves a 16-year-old, but any like super young kids, I think they've deleted, which I think we can all, I mean, the ethics of videos circulating around the internet is a whole other discussion in itself, but I think we can all agree that at least kids not being involved in it is a good thing. All right, brace yourself. We're going on to the medium levels. Level 8 shows a drowning, but spoiler alert, it's fake. This video features an escape artist magician who's laying down in a bathtub under the water. They're all tied up and everything in handcuffs and stuff.
Kinky.
And they fail at the trick and end up drowning. Now, like I said, the odds of this video being real are very, very, very slim. I can't prove it 100%, but all the evidence is there. The person is wearing a mask, so their identity is hidden. So they're made to look like a woman, but we don't actually know the gender of this person. And second, just logically, a real magician would never in a fucking million years do a trick like this without an assistant or without help or a backup plan. There is no magician or escape artist in the world that would just do this without anybody around. That makes no sense. Additionally, there's no news reports, at least that I could find, about this incident or this person. According to various Reddit threads about this video, it's from 2009 and it was circulating on sites, which, you know, is gross, you have to admit. I'm sorry, but I'm not okay with any fetish that involves harming somebody else or seeing harm done to somebody else. I think that's like crosses a line into needing help versus having preferences. But regardless, I think it's safe to say that this one is fake. Level 9. So this one actually does involve animals, but it's probably fine for most of you because it's something you would see on a nature documentary, honestly. It's not a human being being terrible, it's animals being animals. But it's a video of a snapping turtle, and I'm uneducated. I didn't know that snapping turtles could be this vicious and hardcore. It's a grainy video of this snapping turtle ripping up what looks like a rat. It makes me sad because I absolutely love rats. But nature is nature. Level 10, the 10th video in the series, also involves an animal, a kitten, but again, it is not animal cruelty. This is a video of something very upsetting happening to the kitten. The kitten's in a vet office trying to get help, and they're trying to help the cat. But the poor kitten is getting a very, very large bot fly removed from its eye socket. And they take it out, and the poor thing, it's so sad, but again, like, this kind of video doesn't bother me that much because the kitten doesn't look like it's in pain. It's not even meowing. Like, I think they have the kitten pretty well sedated and they're trying to save the kitten's life. Like, they're shocked in the video. They're like upset. So they're showing empathy for this little creature and everything. So yeah, definitely not something you want to see, but definitely not the worst of the worst in my opinion. However, we take a 180-degree turn into very bad when we get to level 11. Video 11 is the last video in the medium levels, and it shows a man getting caught between a train platform and an oncoming train. This video, again, like all the videos are really bad quality because they're from a long time ago, but it's terrible. It's so sad. There's this man in the video just watching it all happen, and I don't judge his reaction because I'm sure it was so shocking he didn't know what he was seeing, but he kind of just casually walks away. It's very odd. But all I can think about is like that poor fucking man. What a terrible way to go. Yeah. All right. So now we're really getting into it. We're moving on to the hard levels. Video 12 is called Hot Iron. This is the video clip of a woman supposedly pressing a hot iron onto a man's penis as he sits there naked. And it seems like he's consenting to it all. Like they both want it, but still, for the majority of us, it's very, very upsetting to watch. However, there's also a lot of theories about this video being totally fake, and I personally agree that it most likely is set up. At the very beginning of the video, you can see her like pump the iron and steam comes out of it to prove that it's on, but she does that like specifically to try to prove that it's on, because then the camera cuts and it cuts completely to them again before she actually touches it to him, and he screams, but there's no steam or any evidence that the iron is actually hot. So I would bet my money that they like had it on and she made it look like it was on, but then they cut the camera, turned it off, waited for it to cool down, and then did this. They cut the video off before you see the aftermath, so I just have a feeling that this one is fake. Okay, video 13 is probably the first one that really got me. This is a diving accident.
No, it's
I want to
okay.
say up front that I got a lot of info for the background of this video from a man named Robert Lindsay. He has a blog where he wrote a very in-depth analysis about this video. I won't have it linked down below because the video is right up front on this blog post, but if you want to look up Robert Lindsay's blogs, you can definitely easily find it on your own. This video is from 2009 in Lebanon. It shows a boy who is allegedly only 16 years old jumping off a ledge. It's a popular ledge to jump off into the water below. You know, as people do cliff diving, it's a very, very popular pastime, but quite unfortunately, predictably, he hits the slab of concrete below. He just doesn't jump quite far enough and he accidentally misses. You can hear lots of screaming in the video. Somebody swims up to him to try to help him right away. It's chaos. It's terrible. And then the video cuts to somebody in the hospital. You can see the aftermath. The boy's face is cut in half vertically and he's supposedly still alive. He does look alive in the video. He's moving and breathing. In Arabic, the doctor is saying in the video over and over, where do I begin? Like, the doctors don't even know how to try to help this person. So we know that the actual diving video is not staged or fake. There are supposedly internet archives with it. I couldn't find them myself. None of the websites seem to exist anymore. I just want to be upfront about that. But I do believe this was actually reported on Real Event. There was also other witnesses. This is, again, all according to Robert Lindsay's blog. A lot of people try to debunk the hospital part of the video, saying that you would never be allowed to film somebody in the hospital, so it must be set up or just like a fake body. But Robert Lindsay again makes a very good point that, yeah, in the US and most other developed countries, you definitely would not be able to do that. However, this is Lebanon, which is a developing country. The medical care in general
The big
is very
year of
different there,
2025. How are you not fucking
and
developed?
It's likely that nobody would bat an eye at somebody filming something from their cell phone in a hospital. Either way, while we know that the actual dive happened and we are pretty sure that the hospital video is authentic, we do not know for 1000% sure that the boy in the diving video is the same person in the hospital. Very sadly, the boy passed away 2 days later. Like I said, if you're very fascinated in this video, like I kind of was, go ahead and read Robert Lindsay's blog on it, because I mean, again, somebody's blog is not some like official reliable source, but his analysis of it and the details about it are very interesting. But I warn you, you know, it's an upsetting page because he goes into graphic detail. Level 14 is an elderly woman shown in some sort of, hopefully a hospital or some sort of medical setting. Her eye is extremely swollen and her eye is just swarming with white maggots.
Yummy.
Somebody's trying to remove them. But I don't even think the person is wearing gloves. So again, I have to believe that this is in some developing country and she's just not getting the care that we would give somebody in the US or countries like it. But again, that poor woman, no one deserves stuff like that. It's so horrible. The last hard, we talked kind of about this in the Do Not Research Iceberg as well. This is a, I definitely can't show any pictures of it because the video is of a man with a split. Go watch the iceberg or go find that in the iceberg videos.
No,
it
feels good.
What that is. And he is shown in the video putting a drill into the split parts. He does not turn it on in the video, which I'm surprised by because of the nature of this whole challenge. So it stops right before he does anything. But for anybody with a penis, this would be extremely cringy and I would imagine very, very disturbing to watch and think about. All right. The last section of Run the Gauntlet is the insane levels. Warning, I know I've given lots of warnings, but these are the very worst of the worst that humanity has to offer. Level 16, this is the first one in the insane levels. This is the one that I was talking about that involves an animal. It takes place in China. The video was put out by PETA, so that probably tells you plenty. Like I said, I'm not going to go into details about that in the video. I don't like animal stuff like this.
I do.
If you really, really, really need to know, the internet is out there. It's very easy to find out. Level 17, video 17, is not violent actually at all, but it is very, very gross. So it might make you gag. This video shows a woman licking smegma. I can't, even the word is gross, off of a man. So smegma, most people in the world develop this at some point. It's a very normal, not harmful, natural occurrence. It is the oil, moisture, and skin cells that kind of like form into this white substance that you'll find on any human genitalia. Proper hygiene, of course, can reduce this, but you know, it's still not harmful. It's just kind of gross. Now, I also read, yet again, that this video is also set up. While it's just as gross to watch still, it is supposedly the person behind the camera put bits of toilet paper there to make it look like that in the folds of the man's you-know-what. So thank God for the poor girl in this video. However, in spite of the fact that this video is gross, it's way more disturbing because that poor girl in this video she looks unhappy to be there. And I don't like that.
I'd be happy.
Video 18, level 18 is One Man, One Jar.
Yay.
We also covered this fairly extensively in the Do Not Research Iceberg. So again, if you want my more detailed take, you can go back on that video. But I have seen this video in its entirety. It's a classic internet shock piece. Most of you already know what this is. It shows a Russian man who, unbeknownst to his wife, enjoys doing these kinds of things and videos in his spare time. It shows him without clothes on, and he sits on a jar, and, you know, inevitably, the jar breaks. The video is so graphic.
No, it's good.
And just very painful to even watch someone go through it. Again, I go over this in the Do Not Research Iceberg, but the man ends up, he's okay. He has spoken out since then, and he says, no, my wife doesn't know about it, but he did admit that this particular incident was simply an accident. Okay, level 19 and level 20 are by far the worst ones. These are the ones that I definitely wish, you know, if I could go back in time and never know that this kind of stuff existed, I probably would have been okay. I probably would have survived just fine. So level 19 is a video. It's a video from the Mexican cartel, and the victim of this video is the hostage. They're grilling him about various drug goings on, you know, as the Mexican cartel does. And
Breaking Bad.
In my opinion, any video like this, I know there's a lot of ISIS videos that go around the internet like this too, and I wish they didn't exist. I don't think anybody in the world needs to see this kind of crap. I don't know what good it does. In my personal opinion, I mean, it changes you. There's a version of you that doesn't know that this kind of stuff happens, and then there's the version of you after you know that this kind of stuff happens. And if this kind of stuff does not bother you in any such way, I think you need a break from the internet and from violence, because I, honest to God, personal opinion of course, but think that you're too desensitized, and I know I have gotten there too, and I've needed to take a break because I needed to remind myself of the severity of these things happening in the world. It's not anything we should be desensitized to. It should upset us.
No, it's okay.
And level 20, finally, the very last, most horrible video level, is a longer video, of course, and this is 3 guys, 1 hammer. And just like the last video, I wish this video did not exist whatsoever. I mean, I wish it never happened, but I also wish if I had the power to wipe this video from the internet, I definitely would. Now, I made a whole video about this true crime story back in the day, back when I was a baby YouTuber. I think the video still exists, but just a warning, if you go watch out of curiosity, it's a bad video. It's only 13 minutes long. I was a super new baby YouTuber, didn't know what I was doing, so it's not the best video. This video is from the true crime case out of Ukraine. It's often referred to as the Dnipropetrovsk maniacs, and in spite of the way this video is treated, the victim in the video, he did have a name. He was a person. His name was Sergei Yatsenko. He was a 48-year-old man. Here is a photo of this poor man's wife, Ludmila, who, I must remind you, not only did she lose her husband, but a video of his death became a viral internet shock video. So there's that. Again, sorry, I don't mean to be like morally superior or anything, because I'm definitely not. You could argue I'm contributing to this simply by watching them myself, and I totally agree. The morbid curiosity for some of us definitely gets the better of us sometimes. So again, I'm not trying to say that you're some bad person if you've ever seen this video, because I am not better than anybody. I'm better than everybody at the beginning.
They didn't ask me, they know any shit.
I'm just saying that we need to think about why these videos get spread so far and wide, and people use it as this shock challenge entertainment. We often forget that there's real people and families behind these videos. Anyway, the 2 monsters that did this, they wanted to be notorious killers. They killed 21 people. They would go around this area of Ukraine and torture and kill people and animals, and they would document it and film it. They were, I mean, the definition of evil. I mean, this is the worst type of person that exists. There's just no way around it. Garbage excuses for human beings. The acts themselves are horrendous, but the way they treat it is worse. They're often heard laughing and joking and just chatting in the videos as if they're cooking dinner or something and not doing something like this to someone. They take pictures of each other with their victims afterwards.
Hank did
like
that.
They were very, very proud of everything that they did. I mean, it's one of the worst cases that exists. The video itself is of these 2 monsters trapping poor Sergei in the woods before filming his entire torture and murder, as the title suggests, with a hammer. The sounds in the video, you'll never forget. It's the most vile shit you'll ever see in your life. Again, this is one of those videos I don't recommend anybody go watch it, because there's no going back after you've seen it. All right, as we close out this video, I'm going to show you some videos of some puppies and kittens.
What the fuck is wrong with this game?
I'm going to link some cute videos below if you want to watch some videos of a puppy or something.
Kick my ass. I don't care enough. I'm on a sugar crash. I don't need a fucking cash. Maybe. Oh. Ew. Ah.
Welcome to Screen Crush. I'm Ryan Airy. Breaking Bad is filled with layers and symbolism, from the show's color palette, the parallel storylines, the costume design. But the most striking symbol in the show is the charred teddy bear and the dismembered eye that seems to follow Walt wherever he goes.
Whoop-de-doo! What does it all mean, Basil?
So, let's take a deep dive into the hidden meaning of this bear, its burned half, and that creepy
Where are you
eyeball.
going?
A little bit of backstory. The bear was part of the debris that fell into Walt's pool after the midair collision of a chartered plane and 515. Remember, Walt indirectly caused these 167 innocent deaths. He let Jane die, leading to the distraction of her father, an air traffic controller.
10,000. Juliet, Mike 21, do you have that traffic if you're 9 o'clock? Wayfair 515, do you have that traffic?
The bear appeared in the cold open of several episodes, hinting that some awful fate awaited the White family. The scenes are in black and white, except for the bear, which is a bright, hot pink. Now, every color in Breaking Bad has a special significance. We made a whole video about it if you want to check that out. Pink means innocence, youth, and tragedy. For instance, Jesse's last name is Pinkman, to highlight his childlike nature and tragic path. In fact, the bear first appeared in the digital release of a music video for Jesse's band Twathammer. The video and this mockumentary about the band are both set before the events of Breaking Bad, when Jesse was more naive and innocent.
See, now you made me say the word
Well, you can say
You can't say alright? How are we gonna get this on VH1?
And the bear next appeared in the high-low mart during Walt's fugue state. By pretending to be an amnesiac, he's basically casting himself as a big, naked, innocent baby. And after this moment, he's temporarily freed from a life of crime. So when you see this bear pop up in the show, it signifies innocence. But that innocence is about to be destroyed by catastrophe. When we look at this bear, we don't see just a toy. We see the child holding that toy. Instantly, the audience and Walt understands that he has caused the death of a child, an innocent life cut short by his evil deeds. Walt even wears a pink sweater during this crash to emphasize his connection to the disaster. The character on Breaking Bad who most often wears pink is Holly White. When these scenes first aired, they were something of a misdirect. They're framed to make the audience think that something awful is going to happen to Walt's family. Note the double body bags and the broken windshield on his car. But remember, when the season started, Skylar was still pregnant, so the audience assumed that this bear would belong to baby Holly, when actually, symbolically, the bear is baby Holly. She's even dressed as a pink bear in Season 4, and Walt tucks her in with a pink bear in Season 3. So why is Holly a symbol of both innocence and tragedy? Well, because Holly's birth, instead of being a joyous family occasion, actually marked the beginning of her family's downfall. She was born on the same day that Walt made his first meth delivery to Gus, the day he took his first step into a larger world of organized crime.
That's right. Yeah, he did that.
In fact, Walt missed Holly's birth just to make his first big deal. And did you notice what's lying in the rubble outside the warehouse where they made this exchange?
What?
It's a pink teddy bear.
A pink
lying
bear.
face down like it's dead, foreshadowing the real tragedy of Season 2, Jane's death. Jane has a very strong connection to the bear. There's a mural in her bedroom, presumably painted by her. Now, like any art, there are many ways to interpret this work. Jane most likely meant this to depict herself sleeping. Note the alarm clock. The woman is riding a rainbow into the night sky, or a kind of dreamland. This is a naive, innocent way to interpret this work. But like everything good in
I don't think we need that much
there's tragedy
redstone, I
lurking
guess.
within. Knowing Jane's fate and the aftermath causes us to see this painting differently. The woman, Jane, is dead, being carried into the afterlife, into the heavens. Note that Jane died lying on her back, just like this woman. The alarm clock is indicating that her time has run out. And what's this? A pink teddy bear falling from the sky, a symbol of innocent dreams crashing down to reality. The image is mirrored in the Season 6 episode, Rabid Dog. Jesse has decided to betray Walt to the DEA, in a sense, reconnecting with his original innocence. Behind him, way up in this tree, is a pink teddy bear. Much like Jane, it's watching over him from above. Jane represents what is pure in Jesse's life.
I'm in recovery. Hot. It's like stepping stones.
While Walt pulls him toward the darkness, Jane keeps him in the light, symbolized by the light and dark sides of the bear. Now, not that Jane is completely innocent. After all, she did try to blackmail Walt.
No, that's
However,
okay.
This happened after she was corrupted by drugs. Once Jane stopped being clean, her judgment was impaired. She was no longer as innocent. Jane is damned when she's corrupted by Walt's money.
This is freedom. This is saying I can go anywhere I want. I can be anybody.
Similarly, love of money corrupts and destroys Holly's family. The connection between Holly and Jane is made overt.
Holly Hills.
Phoenix. This is Holly's first day on Earth, and Jane's last. Early in the episode, Walt and Skylar carefully lay Holly on her side so she won't choke in her sleep. Later, Walt refuses to do for Jane.
I noticed
in my
that.
Opinion, this is the moment when Walt becomes damned. In a previous video, we discussed the moment he decided to break bad, but this is the first time Walt deliberately takes an innocent life. Now, like I said, Jane did threaten to blackmail him, but unlike Tuco or Crazy 8, she's not a career criminal. She's a drug addict who's held captive by her disease. And just before this scene, Walt shared a beer with Jane's father, Donald. They begin by discussing an optimistic future where Mars is the new key to space travel.
Ostensibly turning Mars into a giant gas station.
Then these two middle-aged dads begin discussing their families.
Can't give up on them.
Zombie.
This conversation is vital because later it helps Walt put a human face on his crime and understand that this disaster is his fault.
I sit down and this man, this stranger, he engages me in conversation. He's a complete stranger, but he turns out to be Jane's father.
It's easy for us to dismiss death when it's an abstract statistic.
Casualty-wise, it was just the 50th worst air disaster.
But talking to Donald helps Walt put a human face on this tragedy. He sees himself in Donald. He feels empathy for him. He's a scared dad who's just trying to make the world better for his kid, just like Walt. Because Walt feels this empathy, he doesn't just feel like he killed Donald's daughter. It's like he killed his own daughter as well. Just like he killed the little girl who was holding this pink teddy bear. Now this scene is a brilliant piece of acting by Bryan Cranston. He goes from concerned and fatherly, and then indecisive as he begins to calculate the possibilities. And when he makes his decision, a coldness washes over his face, shades of Heisenberg to come. And then, finally, he's filled with guilt and regret. It's heartbreaking.
Oops.
In an instant, Walt stops seeing Jane as an obstacle, a potential blackmailer, and he sees her as a young woman, a daughter. And someday it could be his daughter, lying dead at the mercy of an evil man like him. It's also fitting that just before the crash, Walt does lose his daughter. Skylar leaves him and takes Holly with her. So Walt's criminal actions have caused the loss of 3 daughters, Holly, Jane, and the little girl holding the bear. The bear's scarred appearance is also a key component of its symbolism. Half of its face is charred and blackened, just as Walt lives 2 lives, good and bad. The color pink represents what is innocent in his life, like baby Holly, while black is the primary color worn by Heisenberg, which shows embodiment of evil. Gus also lived a double life.
I hide in plain sight, same as you.
When he's killed, half his face is burned away. Both Gus and the bear's scarred faces were revealed by a slow camera movement. The image also calls to mind the comic book villain Two-Face, a character who embodies the binary nature of good and evil. When Walt, Jesse, and Gus are all at their lowest points, they are pressed to the ground and forced to watch their loved ones die, much like Harvey Dent in The Dark Knight. Half of Jesse's face was also mutilated by Hank, and by the end of the show, half his face is permanently scarred by the Aryan Brotherhood. Gail Bedecker also lived a double life. When he was murdered, he was shot just beneath one eye, the same eye that is torn away from the teddy bear. So let's talk about the eyeball. This common connection of scarred faces and tragic deaths implies that there's good and evil inside all of these characters, and they were all forced down a darker path by evil, violent men. Now we actually see the eye first, floating in the water like a grisly, dismembered body part. It's violently sucked into the pool filter, signaling that it's now a part of Walter White. It lives inside of him. Vince Gilligan did discuss the meaning of the eye, saying, when we were coming up with that eye as an image, it probably represented some form of the universe, the eye of God, the eye of morality. I guess if you're going to hold my feet to the fire, what it means to me is the eye of God on Walt, if not necessarily judging him, nonetheless watching him, keeping tabs on him. And then the question, if that is what the symbolism stands for, then why does Walt keep that eye? Why does he keep it in his drawer versus discarding it? I believe that Walt keeps the eye because he can't throw it away. It's part of him, sucked into the pool filter of his soul. He draws it from the water of his pool, and Breaking Bad often uses swimming pools as a symbol of emotions, a place where the rawest parts of the characters are revealed. So this eye comes from Walt's raw feelings of guilt. It's his inner moral light, a kind of Jiminy Cricket who's always judging him. And Walt does feel guilt about Jane, at least initially. He tries to rationalize the plane crash with statistics.
Well, at any rate, what you're left with, casualty-wise, is just the 50th worst air disaster.
So he clearly researched all of these numbers to assuage his own feelings of guilt. And he also cast himself as the victim of this tragedy.
Things I've had to do. I've got to live with them.
But his inner truth is revealed in Fly, an episode that strips away the trappings of Breaking Bad to reveal the characters' true emotional selves.
Sorry about Jane.
So the bear symbolizes Walt's attachment to his own humanity, and this is also why the toy is bright pink in a sterile black and white world. Gilligan and his team were inspired by this iconic scene in Schindler's List. Now, if you haven't seen the movie, as Nazis destroy the Krakow ghetto, Schindler sees a girl in a red coat running through the streets. Before this moment, Schindler was a calculating war profiteer. Jews were used as cheap labor in his factories to make material for the Nazi war effort. But this girl calls out to Schindler. Through her, he sees the Jewish people as human beings, not just workers. She is a symbol of goodness in a world devastated by evil, and she awakens the man's humanity, just as the pink bear represents what Walt loves in life, his family, his daughter, and Jesse. But just as the girl's red coat later appears in a wheelbarrow full of corpses, the bear is destroyed by the evil in the world, the evil he created. And the eye, unburned by the crash, is all that remains of the bear. It sees Walt, unblinking, always looking at his true self. He can lie about his reasons for committing a crime, but the eye can see what's really inside of him.
I did it for me.
In many respects, this is the eye of God, or at least the eye of universal, objective truth. The cousins find it while they're waiting to kill Walt, but they don't seem to care. After they leave, Walt sees the eye has been disturbed, in a way informing him that he's being watched. In season 4, Skylar's about to help Walt break bad so she can help Hank and Marie. While looking for Walt, she finds the eye in a drawer and then discards it. So this eye, this higher power, is slowly judging her as well. Walt can lie, live a double life, kill, murder, but the eye sees what he really is. There is also some evidence that the supernatural, or at least a belief in the supernatural, exists in Breaking Bad. The YouTube channel Life is a Story posited that in the final episode, Felina, Walt actually speaks to God. Now, in this moment, when the cops are bearing down on Walt, he says, and then the car keys magically fall from the visor as if a gift from heaven. So the bear came from the heavens and landed in Walt's pool, a symbol of his roiling emotions. The bear is taken away in a metaphorical body bag, much like Jane. But this eye of innocence, mangled by Walt's sin, is pulled inside of his home and it never leaves him. Wherever Walt goes, the eye follows, watching, judging, seeing him for what he always was, an evil, prideful man, searching for an excuse to break bad. Well, guys, what do you think about the pink teddy bear? Let me know in the comments below. And if it's your first time here, please subscribe. For Screen Crush, I'm Ryan Airy.
It's all just fucking... Janky Rondo. I hate stinky
Let's
bread.
get into it, bro. Oh my god, bro. Let's just get into it, bro. Off the rip. All right, off the
rep. Hold on, let me get my notification. Off the rep. Terry! Terry looking goddamn tough. And we know it's one person that's gonna show up chat. It's gonna be Terry McClung. It's gonna be Terry. Respect. That's one person who gonna show up. Shout out to bro. Alright, 3-star drop back. JD looks left. Huh. Zacavius. Come on. Shout out to bro. Zacavius, he had a decent game. I ain't gonna lie. You know what? I'm not even gonna say what I'm about to say, because I'm gonna wait till you do the goddamn that crazy ass fucking play. JD, 3-star drop back. Rose right. Look at him. Look at JD. Look at JD. Look at him. On the right. Ain't nobody open! God damn it! Like, alright, let's go. Right. How, like, alright, hold on. Let me put my chat down real quick before I say what I'm about to say. How the fuck does the Philadelphia Eagles get so lucky that they get not one white boy, not one? They don't got, y'all gotta look. They don't even have one white boy Ricky. They got 2 white boy Rickies. I ain't never seen 2 white boy DBs on the field and they balling like them. They balling like they niggas. I don't get it. What the fuck they thought of that? What the fuck? The last time the Commanders, we drafted a white boy Ricky, the nigga ran a 4.37, but the nigga kept getting barbecued. But when they draft one, it's all sugar booger good. Like, I don't.
And it's 4th down.
I can't, bro. 4th down and 5, bro. 4th down and 5. 3-star drop back. JD looks left. Good shit, Ertz. Ertz was the only one that came to play. In my opinion. Him, Terry, JD. That's it. Shout out to bro. Come on. Are we gonna block, bro? Are we gonna block?
What?
How the fuck did y'all beat the Lions? Because we're a good team. How about that? We're a good fucking team. 4th down and 2. JD, steps up. Come on, JD. Let's go, JD. Come on, JD. Shoe off and all that. He's still taking off. Stop playing with him. Stop playing with him.
Continues to get it done with a 5-yard run.
Shit is so annoying.
All
right, JD, 3-star drop back. 3rd down and 9. Looks left.
Goes far side. Has a completion to Eckler. He's going to be short.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Like,
does Quinn go for it again?
You know what? I'm not.
Another 4th down.
I like when I'm stinky.
About Saquon, my nigga, like, Jesus Christ, we took into how is my nigga?
Good.
Here we go, bro. Here we go, bro. Here we go. I don't even want to react to it.
As they'll finally get here for that 7-minute drive. There's Will Shipley on the
Will Shipley.
And Shipley, nice little move. Shipley out across the
I'm
field.
gonna keep it a buck. I never thought I'd ever say Will Shipley name in the video, bro. But Will Shipley, why the fuck you ain't never run like this when like against any other team? But as soon as you see some motherfucking, you know what? Go, just go. Rondo, just go.
For the rookie from
just go, Rondo. Just go. Just go. Yeah, please stop spamming King.
Here's Barkley, a little shovel, looking for an edge, gets it. Saquon Barkley, 1st down. Barkley, oh!
Fucking hate him.
Saquon, touchdown.
Yep, game's over.
I just don't get it, bro.
Ooh.
Oh,
Okay, neck ass.
Yo, I'm letting you know now, bro. If you a New York Giants fan, I'm gonna smack the shit out you, bro. I'm so dead serious. We fucking hate New York. New York, you niggas is so dumb. Y'all don't make no sense. How the fuck do you let? This doesn't make sense, bro. I hate this stinky breath bitch. My God, no, that nigga, no, his name going back to Katie. I don't give a fuck. Chat, hey, all the Eagles fans, I don't give a fuck. This nigga name is going back to KD. I'm gonna throw stinky breath in there a little bit, but he going back to KD, bro. I don't care, bro. Like, come on, bro, chat. Soon as I seen this in person, bro, I'm like, hold on. That motherfucker got some space. I'm like, bro, ain't no motherfucker way he gonna take it to the crib off the first fucking play.
Looking for an edge.
Well, whoop-de fucking do, nigga. What the fuck are y'all doing?
We are so neck ass.
Is about to have a fucking orgasm. Bro. And then it was so crazy, bro. Then we gotta flip. I just said this the other goddamn day. Then we gotta flip sides, and then we gotta watch B-Rob run for 5 yards and then get tackled. I'm not saying B-Rob ass or nothing, but it's like, bro, like my nigga, can we find this anywhere else, my nigga? Oh my God.
My lover.
Eagles fans, let me ask y'all a question real quick. Let me ask y'all a question. When Saquon run the ball, how do y'all react? I'm curious. In the YouTube comments, let me know, and on the Twitch right now. How do y'all be reacting? I just want to see.
Dicks.
It's ridiculous. Some nigga said he gets hard. All right. I jizz my pants. I bust. Like, bro, what is wrong with y'all, bro? He's generational. I was lit. I scream. Orgasm. Hype. He's great. Seems fucking amazing, my nigga. Seems fucking amazing. KD is insane.
Simple,
Hype as fuck.
They fake the jet sweep and run a toss.
I could literally I ain't even trying to be funny. I could literally be mid second round into some goddamn vajayjay. I look to my left, nigga, look on the TV. Saquon gone again. Okay, honey.
More plays here.
Like, it's just like, bro, he's just not. Here we go, Yami. Come on, Yami. Come on, Yami. There go Bob to build the bomb. There go Bob to build the bomb, bro. Bob to build the bomb. It's like, bro, everybody on the Eagles, bro, can just do everything good, bro. It's just like, bro.
Yeah, he's been great lately too in this postseason. It hurts on the roll, completion there to Cox.
This shit was here every fucking play.
Right around the marker.
Someone said there's still break.
Wide open.
All right, bro. First 9 to 10. We got Mr. Perfect. We got Stinky Breath. KD. We got AJ. We got this. Hey, and I want y'all to know that right now. This was out. This was lit. And this is how y'all know this, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro. It's clear and obvious, bro. This was literally out. Have you seen the replay, bro? This was literally out, bro. But these niggas, bro, I fucking hate PB and.
Does he keep the feet inbounds?
Chat, obviously, bro. They got this. They got Decepticon. They got I Need a PB and Jake Sandwich Smith, Mr. Perfect, KD, Stinky Breath. They got a lot, bro. Did you get my last dono? Damn near Cinderella story ran out. All right, appreciate the $10 in there. It didn't matter. Yeah, I bet it didn't. It doesn't matter when it's going your way, right?
The first guy to get him on the ground.
Stinky Breath again. Stinky Breath again. Stinky Breath again.
Number 2.
If they can sustain some drives.
14-3, bro. 14-3. JD, 3-star drop back. JD with a goddamn ball to nobody. Oh. Like, it just, no. See, bro, all Commanders fans, bro, we gotta realize something, bro. Honestly, bro, I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm gonna just say this right now. Nigga, we wasn't even supposed to be here, respectfully. If it wasn't for JD, we wouldn't. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I don't know where the fuck we would be at, respectfully. Obviously, we got good players, shout out to bro. But my nigga, our receiver core, bro, is so mid, bro. We gotta get more receivers, bro. I'm sorry. Like, we gotta get more receivers, bro. Like, real shit, bro. Real shit. The fact that, like, bro, like, we gotta go against AJ Brown, Deceptive. We gotta go against fucking. Oh yeah. Hold on, Trash. Hey! Okay, Sonny! Okay, Trace! But, like, bro, we gotta go against Devontae Smith, AJ Brown, like, bro, Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hurts. It's like, nigga, we only got Terry, JD, and Zach Ertz. That's oh my God, bro. 42. I bet, hey, chat, I bet you right now if I say, hey, chat, what's 42 name? I bet y'all don't see it. I bet y'all $5. Y'all don't know who the fuck that is.
Filled the void here the past few weeks.
There's Daniels.
3-star drop back.
Over the middle in traffic.
Good shit, Yami. Good shit, Yami.
Yummy.
Owen Burks.
By James Daniels in heavy traffic.
All right, bro. Owen Burks only balls out when he play against us, huh? Play against like anybody like the Rams. That nigga don't show up. Shout out to bro. All right. JD looks left. Throws it away again because nobody can get open, my nigga. Nobody can get open.
Accurate with all his short passes.
Here's Gonzalez.
Zane, I'm gonna keep the buck chat. Zane played. He kicked very good today, bro. He cooked very good today, bro. I said he kicked very good today.
Possession game.
Bro, I feel like the Eagles score on every fucking.
They're so good in the middle of that defense.
All right.
Interesting to see.
Mr. Perfect, 3-star job back. Looks right.
Torching him on the inside.
We gave them this play every fucking goddamn drive.
Jalen Hurts has
Like, yo, dollars. Appreciate that goddamn sub. Daryl, presented 5. Get to my boy. Appreciate it, my boy. 3-star job back.
You didn't blow up
Fuck was
4.
it? Here go Bush Light. That's all that nigga do. Oh, bro. I swear I hate that.
And I thought he did such a good job of catching the ball, getting that ball out.
Oh, yeah, here we go, bro. Nigga still not.
With the tush push despite the backup center
What
play.
the fuck did Luvu? Hold on. What the fuck did he do? Nigga, Luvu, what do you think Luvu, you are. He was doing this shit. Luvu, bro. I love you to death, bro. But what the fuck are you. Check, can we all just stare at Luvu real quick? I love my boy to death. I ain't forgot. But can we all just stare at Luvu, bro?
So they can do something with it.
They go with the tush push despite the backup center play. Hurts.
Can we still
Looks like he has enough from up here, and
we'll
see for the official.
Hey, bro.
So
What is Paulin? Bro, oh my God. Bro. All right, bro. He said, get his ass, Luvu. Get his ass. They trying to call you a dirty player. Nah, nigga. Let them know that you all pro. Stop playing. That's Polynesian. That nigga related to Roman Reigns. You know that nigga.
Elliott was
Shit.
good from
Shout out
60
to bro.
in warm-ups
All right,
today.
Jake Elliott. You know that nigga. Plus anything 50.
There he is. Kick
Why
is up,
right?
it's sailing, and it is no good.
Missy Elliott.
That sack may have
Missy
cost him
Elliott.
points.
Shout out to bro. Bum ass nigga. Shout out to bro. All right. Second down and 4.
Daniels on
Wow,
second.
dang.
6-1 over the middle for a first down.
Shout out to
It's
87.
Bates.
Who's that's John Bates. Frankie Louvu bouncing over 4 people for no reason.
Daniels.
All right, Zeddy was right. Go Terry. Oh my God, that motherfucker Terry. That motherfucker Terry. That motherfucker. He is the best of all time. That nigga's the best.
Oh wait.
That motherfucker is better than Jerry Rice. That motherfucker is better than Randy Moss. That motherfucker is better than Calvin Johnson. That motherfucker is better than Larry Fitzgerald. That motherfucker is better than Johnny Unitas. That motherfucker is better than... Was Night Train Lane over Shiro, or was he a corner? I don't even know. Shout out to bro. But that nigga is the best. Shout out to Brody though.
In my shadows.
Terry! Tell me up, Terry! Bro, say, ain't no calm down, nigga. Terry, nigga, Terry is the best receiver of all time, bro. Shout out to bro. OG don't even want to guard Terry, because you not going to catch him. You not going to catch him. Shout out to Browdy now. Stop playing with us, chat. Stop playing with us, chat. Stop playing with us. Come on, bro. 2-point conversion. Of course we don't get it.
Daniels gets it to Eckler. Eckler is...
I swear, bro, every player on the Eagles is all pro. Every player on the Eagles is all pro, chat. You just can't make it up. You just can't make it up.
Little pop pass, Devontae Smith.
Here you go.
To 35. They get Smith involved in just one
He's
catch.
blushing right now.
Toe-tapping catch earlier in the game.
Do butt. All right. Let's go back.
Barkley, right side, slips through. Barkley trucks Seaver, still has got a first down.
Mikey, no. Mikey, don't try to help this nigga up. This nigga fucking us with no fucking lube, nigga. Don't help that bitch ass nigga up. Try and get that nigga respect and shit. Don't help that nigga up, bro. Yo, Daryl, appreciate the biz, my boy. Appreciate the biz, my boy. Appreciate the biz, nigga.
Floats it out to Barkley.
Good defense. Good fucking defense, Mikey. Good fucking defense.
The blitz that
Good
time
fucking defense,
affecting
bro.
the play. Jeremy Chin
Let me
coming
ask y'all a question. Actually, no, I'm gonna ask y'all a question. I really want to see what y'all niggas gonna say to this right here. Who is the Commanders' worst DB in the goddamn DB run? I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm just gonna ask y'all. I feel like, bro, it don't matter who it is. Whoever got an AJ, my nigga, he just gonna barbecue. Like, bro, it don't matter, nigga. It could be BSJ, it could be Forbes, Lattimore, Mike Davis. It don't matter. We just can't find shit. Like, we about like, my nigga, like. But then you go into the Eagle side, they got niggas like Q Mitch and shit. Swear, life ain't fair, bro.
With the pressure, it's 4th and 5.
Or Cal Kater at the top are your best two options.
Blitz coming.
Lattimore,
Hurts, going deep. A.J. Brown, he's got it!
That's not a flag? Like, bro, the nigga mean mugging in it.
There's Hurts, blitz again, everybody's coming. Hurts.
Let's ride. Oh my God, what a play! Here they go, me riding shit. Yo, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Hey, everybody in Philly to look out for the ref 117. If that nigga take a trip to a local Philadelphia strip club, nigga, don't be surprised. That nigga wants a lap dance. That nigga wants fellatio. That nigga might want to take home a stripper to get some pussy. Because ain't no fucking way that was a fucking better night. I'm tired of this shit. God, bro.
No signal, no, incomplete. And there's a flag,
Clear, bro.
See Brown there in the slot, one-on-one on Lattimore.
It's like, bro, it's like
the hook with the jersey.
Bro, but no. But it's the thing. If the Eagles would do it, nobody calls it. But it's us. Penalty. Shit is dick ride, bro. I'm sorry, bro. Shit is dick ride. Then we got this illegal play. Then we got this illegal rugby play.
Gets a shot, Hurts, in.
Then we got this illegal rugby play. Oh my God, look at this. Oh my God, please. Yo, oh my God. Oh shit. Fuck. Bruh.
Fuck them refs.
Hold on. I just seen A.J. Brown punch a nigga in the face. I just seen Decepticon punch a nigga dead in his face. And the motherfucker didn't even get flagged for it. Well, hey, Eagles fans, what we gonna say about that? Look. laughing, nigga. What we gonna say about that? What we gonna say about that? What we gonna say? What we gonna say? They both are fighting. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. You're right. They're both was fighting. So why the fuck only one of them got a flag?
Hey, Leper.
I swear, bro. It comes to a point. Comes to a point. It's all good. Comes to a point. Comes to a point. Comes to a point. Comes to a fucking point. But one of them only gets the flag though. like, what? Makes no sense, bro. Lattimore did not need shit. Stop.
I don't know.
Like, I'm not.
Signal. I don't know that he got there.
Cry, Rondo, cry.
Doesn't look like it. Wow, Washington with a big.
Surprisingly, my nigga. I mean, in our first time stopping it.
On a 1-yard touchdown.
All right, next.
Big one, the conversion on 4th down to A.J. Brown. Now Washington with plenty of time left with 2 timeouts as well. Here's McNichols.
McNigga, you're cut.
Fucking dumbass.
McNigga, you're cut. Hey, McNigga, you're cut, bro. You're cut. I'm sorry, McNigga. Hey, McNigga, I respect you, bro. McNigga, you been balling this year, but bro, come on, bro. We get a good start, my nigga, to try to score again, my nigga. And that's what you do, my nigga. Oh my god, here we go.
One-handed catch, not going to be near the 1st down, but then hit out of bounds. It's away. Barkley one-handed.
I just want y'all to really try to like. I just want us to literally sit back, kick your feet up, and evaluate this shit. I don't give a, bruh. This ain't motherfucking Hornswoggle. This ain't. This. Who is the worst running back of all time? I don't even know. This not a 3-2 peewee midget running back. This is not a little league kid running back. This is fucking stinky bro Saquon Barkley. They just want a nigga to run out of bounds and just not tag Saquon Barkley. Like my nigga.
Ah!
Soon as the ref saying Saquon Barkley get pulled, he's like, oh my god, oh no, we ain't never seen that before. Throw the flag.
And there's a penalty. Oh my goodness. They will.
Barkley again.
Left side, sliding
Barkley again.
5, and Barkley down to the 4.
Womp womp. They cheated. Clear cheating.
First to throw. Near side, lets her rip. Brown! Touchdown!
They not calling ass on this nigga, bro.
Touchdown!
This nigga still. Like. Hold on. Give me 1 second, bro. Give me 1 second, bro. Give me 1 second. I don't even want y'all to think I'm faking this shit, babe. I ain't faking shit. I ain't faking nothing, nigga. Hold on, bro. Hold on, bro. They better answer, nigga. They better answer. They better answer. They better fucking answer, bro. I don't give a fuck. Answer the phone. Answer the phone. Answer the phone, bro. Don't even say a word. Don't say a word. Did it not call you motherfuckers early in the season and told you dumb motherfuckers to get this big brolic ass Decepticon? Did I not say it? Did I not say it? When they played Green Bay Packers and A.J. Brown was bombing niggas from left to right, from the left hash of the field to the right hash of the field, did I not tell you stupid motherfuckers to get this big brolic ass Decepticon the fuck up out of here? Hello? Now they want to talk. Now they want to talk, Chad. Now they don't want to talk. Fuck out of here, bro. Swear to God, dog. I hate this. I hate this. Oh, wow.
4-man rush. Daniels zings it over the middle. He's got a completion to Ertz. Ertz out across the 41st down, but the time is ticking. 21 seconds.
Philly, bro. I swear, bro.
Blitz is coming.
Only Philly, bro.
C's are going to run. He's got a
JD, come on, JD. Come on, JD. Let's go, JD. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Good shit, JD. It's all good.
Yeah. They're in range now.
All right, bro. It's only three niggas came up, bro. Only 3 niggas came up, bro.
Wide open. It's Ertz, and Ertz tugs up the
Good shit,
field.
Ertz. Good shit, Ertz.
Gets out of
Good shit, Ertz. Yo, Ertz, I will want you to come back, bro. But you goddamn, you like 32, but I do love you to death. I ain't finna cap. Shout out, bro. He the only nigga that showed up. Chat, the game is not over, nigga. We still got a chance to come back.
Perfect. That is some job by Washington.
All right, 15-27. Chat, the game not over, my nigga. We still got a chance to come back. Still got a chance to come back. Shout out, bro. All right, 3 shots back. Get his ass over here. Armstrong. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. It was coming to a point, bro. It was a couple of niggas on the D-line. I couldn't even name them. We got too much random playing. All right. Bush Light. Surprisingly, Bush Light didn't bounce off 3 tackles.
To start this third.
Shout out, bro.
Empty back.
All right, JD.
Daniels to throw. Pressure, and he is sacked. Wow, that's Jordan Davis.
My bad, Jordan Davis. I thought you was only good when you was wearing red, black, and gray, my nigga, with a big ass fat G on your helmet. My bad, bruh. My bad. I mean, you only show up when you play us, my nigga. But when you play somebody else, I'll never say your name. That you start to realize that, bro. Like I will never say your name when you play us, but when you playing somebody, I mean,
big guy.
Javon, appreciate it, bro. Third and 20.
Third and long.
Drop back. Screenplay. Austin Eckler.
Way to go. Eckler is tackled way short. And so the Eagles make a stand of their own, forcing a 3 and out. We've told you about that banged up offensive line.
15-27. I don't even know what's about to happen here. I'm just guessing. I'm gonna guess Saquon Barkley. Why the fuck was we giving that up all game? Bro, Commanders fans, was y'all not saying
Damn it!
All game, bro? Like we doing this all bro, was nobody just wanting to guard these niggas? What the fuck? Go back, bro.
It was fun watching this live.
Lattimore. If you have a safety right over to your left, and you see the tight end flare to your right, then why the fuck are you going in the middle of the field? It just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense, buddy. It just doesn't make sense, bro. It's a safety right there. He takes Smith, you take the fucking tight end. But you... Lattimore, come on, bro. Like, we trade a third for you, man. Like, bro, I know Lattimore's still a dog and shit, but like, god damn, nigga. Shit. Here we go with this, nigga.
Touchdown, Eagles.
What? I can't complain, bro. He scored without another nigga touching his ass. I respect it, bro. I can't even talk shit. I ain't even trying to be funny, bro. Look. Okay, Jalen Hurts, he's good. He's talented. I give credit when credit's due. I'm not a dick here. You know what I'm saying? Yo, QBJ, appreciate that sub. Like, nigga, you like
fuck.
You even do the gritty like a fucking dork.
Daniels to throw. Pressure up the middle. Davis again throws on the run. Good throw. And catch 2. Brown has got a first down.
2nd and 4, 15-34. No worries, Chad. We can still come back. Don't even worry. JD. Yo, that boy Ertz, bro. That boy Ertz came the ball. I'm gonna keep it above. That boy Ertz came the ball, chat. He came the ball. I ain't finna cap. These are your back. Good shit, Zacavius. Good shit.
He's got another first down down to the 19.
It's crazy, bro, because if Zacavius was playing for the Eagles, he would do some crazy shit. I'm just saying, bro.
Going quick.
Facts are cap.
Daniels looking at
JD, that boy JD.
Jaden Daniels.
Go ahead and do your dance. Hey. Don't worry. That nigga's gonna be better than Johnny Unitas. That nigga is already better than Tom Brady. This nigga is already better than goddamn Drew Brees. He already better than goddamn Aaron Rodgers. Do I gotta keep fucking going? Fuck out of here, bro. Chat, I ain't gonna lie. Wait until we give JD some help, bro. Do y'all realize? Y'all don't understand that yet. We real deal don't even got help. We got like 100 million cap, my nigga, or 95. Wait till we get some real talent on this team, my nigga, and not subpar 1 year, 1 deal your ass niggas. God, bro. Just wait. That boy JD. Come on, good pass. Jesus Christ, bro. Y'all gonna be ass.
Fucking cunts.
Still? How we ass at 12 and 4? Not 13, 14, 13.
There is Smith for a first down.
PB&J Smith. There he goes, bro. There he goes. Did the Commanders
to be the vertical separation, the horizontal separation?
Did the Commanders peak with JD5 already?
Here's Goddard. Got a couple blocks. Goddard cuts back.
Bush Light. There goes Bush Light.
Goddard.
There goes Bush Light.
Eagles first down.
Again, one-on-one with AJ.
3rd and 5, bro. That boy Louisville one of them. Yo, Eagles fans. fans, let me ask y'all a question, bro. Why do y'all niggas hate Luvu? Nah, cause like in the stadium chat, bro, y'all was going stupid just booing the nigga. Like why y'all hate Luvu? Let me see in the chat. Why do y'all hate Luvu? He dirty? Dirty ass, dirty hits. What dirty hits did he do, my nigga? Both of the hits when he tackled Hurts, the nigga Hurts never got down. Like he never got down. Like he never got down. Like what is he supposed to do? Like everybody knows it. Don't be mad. Don't be.
So here go the Commanders with Daniels. Right over the middle. He's trying to perfect throw.
All right, Hurts. Let's say Hurts. Hurts the only nigga showed up. I wanted to target y'all, to be honest. Bro leaves his helmet. He leaves with his helmet. Nigga, everybody leaves with a helmet. Nigga, yo, number 8.
Alright, that's it.
Look at this ball.
Fucking cunts.
Goes far side.
Look at this ball.
And the Eagles have it.
It could have been 31 to 34.
Oh, motherfucker. Look at this ball. Look at this. All you one, the nigga didn't even have to fucking catch it. The nigga didn't even have to catch it. You could have just, QBs, appreciate 200 bits, my boy. You could have just sat your big bald ass on the ground, got your ass tagged down, and that's it. But nah, nigga, you want to be superhero, you want to be super midget, and you want to get your ass up and do some dumb shit like this.
Goes far side, caught it. Ball is out, and the Eagles have it.
It comes to a point, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro. It comes to a point, bro. It comes to
Eagles defense forced the most fumbles in the league this year.
I feel for you. I've been where you at. It sucks. You have a bright future, 85.
Wide open, first down, and Brown shoved out of bounds inside the 30.
Bro, did y'all see any situation of the Commanders receivers with this much space, my nigga? So why the fuck, like, what are we calling, bro? What are we calling? It's a lot of, I ain't gonna lie, a lot of DBs gotta go to. No, exactly, my nigga. Like, bro, what are we calling, my nigga? Like, what? I'm not crying, bro. I'm not crying. Here we go. Here this nigga go. Shayshawn Barkley. Is this when they kept doing that? When Frankie Lou kept doing that shit?
They're gonna go, and Hurts is in. Touchdown, Eagles. They rush 4. Daniels is looking that way.
They did. This shit hurts.
Again.
Let's look at the upcoming free agents.
You called it.
You just can't call a lot of deep throws because the pass.
3rd and 12, 23-41. 3-star drop back, JD.
Daniels.
Bang.
Knocked away. Nearly intercepted by Slay.
We need receiver help, bro. We need receiver help, bro. Yo, Commanders fan, what receivers do y'all niggas want in the free agency, bro? Like, we need help, bro. We need help. Oh, here we go, bro. Nolan Smith. You know what? And I'm gonna keep it a buck, bro. I'm not finna meet Ryan. Nolan Smith actually he balled out. He balled out this year. Right, Eagles fans, he balled out this year, right? Like he was playing way better than last year type shit, right? If I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah, so I can't even talk shit about that. You only play good when you got a G on your helmet. I can't even talk shit. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Oh my god, bro.
So once they did, they've been basically unstoppable.
Here is Barkley. Outside. Barkley.
Shayshawn Barkley, chat. That nigga Shayshawn, chat. That nigga Shayshawn. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't even hate the nigga stinky breath, bro. I hate the nigga that made him. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Respectfully. I ain't gonna call it. Real shit. If he would've just kept pause, if he would've just wore a condom. Like real shit. No funny shit. If he would've just wore a condom, bro.
And then near side
he would've just wore a fucking condom.
He's caught a million passes.
Alright, now everything right here, bro, is oblivious. I don't know what happened, because I left around the 8-minute mark. So what happened?
Going deep to the end zone. Is it picked? It is! Intercepted by Quinyon Mitchell. His first NFL interception. Second.
Go back.
Corny ass motherfucker.
Alright, back. Hey, back. You gonna mark Terry? He gonna mark Terry?
NFL interception.
Bet that, Q. Bet that.
We better fucking shut them out next year. I'm so dead ass. It better be like 70-0. I'm so
yes or no?
fucking dead
Are we
ass.
taking Marshawn Lattimore over Q Mitchell? Yes or no? I'm saying yes. I don't give a fuck. I'm not even trying to be funny. I'm being dead serious. I'm taking Marshawn Lattimore over Q.
Ah, shit.
No. No, hell no. I'm seeing a lot of niggas supporting the Eagles right now in the chat, and you motherfuckers are not even close to being from. Hold on, let me tell y'all one thing right now. I'm gonna keep it up. If you in the DMV, my nigga, right now, if you from the DMV and you an Eagles fan, bro, you a meat rider. I'm sorry, respectfully. You a meat rider, respectfully. You live in the DMV, my nigga, but you like a whole team in Philadelphia. Respect, like
wow.
Cool. Philadelphia team, like Philadelphia nigga liking the team in Philadelphia. I respect that. But if you a nigga in the DMV, my nigga, or I'm gonna give you New Jersey too. New Jersey, cool, cause y'all like right beside each other. Shout out to bro. But if you a nigga in the DMV and you like the Eagles, my nigga, you are a meat rider. I'm sorry, I gotta say it, bro. I'm sorry. I gotta say it, bro.
No.
I'm sorry, bro. I gotta say it. I don't fuck. All right, so who scored 50? Who was it? Shea Star got 5? Now Shipley won the ball out.
They play great football all season long. Been a very tough team to beat. They showed again today why.
Look at this! Will Shipley! Oh,
fucking hate the Eagles. I hope they all fucking die. I'm so dead ass.
Give me 1 second, bro. Give me 1 second, bro. Give me 1 second. Just give me 1 fucking second. Just give me 1 second, bro. Give me 1 second, bro. What's that nigga name, bro? How you spell it? Will Shipley? I type in Will, that nigga don't even pop up. Where is his name? How you spell his name, chat? How you spell his name? Ship. Oh, Ship. Pop up.
He fucking sucks. This guy's a non. Man, why the fuck is it still going?
Do y'all see what I'm saying now? Niggas only ball out when they see a team with burgundy with a fucking fat fucking yellow fucking W on their helmet. That's the only time when nigga. This nigga got you, bro. Look at this. Just look, chat. Look. I just want y'all to just look, bro. Look, bro. Look at these yards. Nigga, real deal, chat. Real chat. 0 across the boards, bro. Real shit. I can't even call him Draymond Green because he don't got no type of other stat. 0 across the board. Soon as you play Washington, now you want to be baller boy.
They play great football all season long. Been a very tough team to beat.
Y'all suck.
Why did they replay it? Like, L fucking ever.
Will Shipley! Oh, take it down to the 5.
Is he the nigga that scored, I'm guessing? They can't take him out at that point, right?
On both sides of the ball, they should be so thrilled here in Philly with what they've seen.
Shipley is in! Touchdown!
55.
First of his career. Fly Eagles fly to Super Bowl 59.
Advances to the Super Bowl
for
the second time. Second Super Bowl appearance in the last 3 seasons, bro. Yo, Philly, how y'all feeling, bro? Philly, let me ask y'all. Yo, Mason, appreciate that process, boy.
You like
Philly,
get over here?
Philly, how y'all feeling? How y'all feeling, bro? How y'all feeling, bro?
Fuck! What the like?
How y'all feeling, bro? BTA. Yo, I'm laying y'all know right now, bro. If any of you niggas in the chat and y'all team wasn't in the conference championship, my nigga, shut the fuck up, respectfully, bro. You niggas is talking shit, but y'all niggas, alright, bro. You know what? Job not finished. We good. I'm gonna go ahead and say that. I'm gonna go ahead and guess that the Eagles win the Super Bowl, bro. Respectful, whoever the fuck they play, cause I didn't watch the game, the Chiefs Bills game. I'm gonna go ahead and say the Eagles gonna win, bro. I'm gonna keep the buck. I ain't gonna lie. And if they play the Chiefs again, my nigga, getting revenge, that'd be tough. That gotta be some dark magic shit. The fact that both of them teams go back again, my nigga, is crazy. I ain't finna cap. If they play the Bills, my nigga, Josh Allen, I ain't gonna lie. That nigga Josh Allen kind of one of the ones. I ain't finna cap. Shout out to bro. But god damn, man. Hey, look, I'm gonna keep the buck, bro. Commanders fans, bro. Look, hear me out, bro. All the Commanders fans are back, bro. We are good, bro. The fact that we were here, my nigga, with a subpar team, my nigga, and I can't even say we competed, but we tried, my nigga. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? It comes to a point, my nigga. When you play the fucking Eagles, my nigga, you're going up against the God Squad, respectfully. You know what I'm saying? When you got to look at your schedule and you looking at you got to guard AJ, peanut butter jelly, Smith, Saquon, Stinky Breath Barkley, Mr. Perfect, shit. And they on defense, you got Q Mitch, Guacamole Bay, Bob the Builder Bond, 2 white boy Rickies, shit. Who else? You got Bully Boy, Jalen Carter in the middle. It's like, bro, honestly, chat, what could you do, bro? Chat, what could you do, bro? What could you do? And you got Unc, you got OG. Like, what could you really do? You can't really do shit, bro. You can't do shit, bro. Real shit. So it's like, bro.
Hold on. How fucking long did that just take? Only 6 minutes.
Commanders fans, bro, we gonna be good, bro. Eagles fans, I'm letting y'all know right now, bro. Next year, bro, we are on y'all fucking ass, bro. I'm letting you know right fucking now. We are on y'all fucking ass. We gonna spend this fucking money. We gonna spend that money and we gonna compete, my nigga, respectfully. So y'all niggas, cool, y'all got us right now. I'm gonna give y'all credit. Y'all got us right now. Shout out to bro. But next year, nigga, we are on y'all ass, my nigga. I'm letting y'all know right now, bro. Respectfully, bro. Sure, pal? All right, bro. All right, bro. Okay. Okay. You know what? Hold on, chat. Give me 1 second. Let me wait, chat. Everybody. Say y'all NFL teams here right now, cause I just want to see the ratio real quick. I want to see the ratio real quick. Y'all gonna see, bro. When we give JD5 some help, my nigga, y'all are fucked. Y'all are actually fucked. Y'all are fucked. Damn, shit, the whole Eagles, Ravens, Raiders, Lions, Chiefs, Eagles, Falcons, Lions, Commanders, Panthers, Eagles, Seahawks, Commanders. How the fuck is the Eagles fans over here out ratioing the Commanders? What the fuck? Oh my God, Ravens fans, I don't want y'all saying shit. I ain't finna cap. I love y'all to death, but I don't want y'all saying shit either. I ain't finna cap. Alright, bro. That's the goddamn Eagles reaction, bro.
Well, I'll be damned. Wake up in the morning feeling like P. Diddy. My neck ass stinks. Twang ya, what the twang ya, chaka cha. Those are so fucking ass. They were up as well. I'm assuming everybody picked Clippers. What? What? Give a little love in your heart. Clippers. Huh. Huh. It's not in the mind. Good. Yay! The Raptors were like up. That must have been at like the very beginning or something. Alright, let's Let's wait for it to reattach. Hello? I gotta wait for final. Because what if, like, they add an 89 points, you know? Hello? Alright, we'll wait a little bit. Alright, let's get that iron smelting. Alright, then we gotta get to the nether. Wow, I've never, like, speedrun Minecraft. Well, I did spend, like, the first 5 days in a cave. And I didn't die, surprisingly. I became really close multiple times. Let's see how my achievements are doing. Fill a bucket of lava. There we go. Pooter box, boom, 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 pooter box, pooter box. Dang it. Yeah, the Spurs are up. Did I pick them? Oh. I fucking knew it. I well, it's still the third quarter. They'll probably find some way to fuck it up. Oh. Damn it. I'm not watching fucking Flight. I don't know what we want to watch now. I don't know when I'm going to bed. Ah.
with outdoor seating nearby.
Oof.
You just sound like an idiot. You're not gonna be able to sleep with her, man.
You know when you hear girls saying like, I was so shit-faced last night. I shouldn't have fucked that guy. We could be that mistake.
Now, lately, I've been talking a lot of shit about a lot of stinky movies. And since we hit 300 and 400,000 subscribers in the same month, I figured it would be cool if I actually did a nice video for once. So I figured it's about time I talked about my favorite comedy movie ever made and why it works so well. Now, most people have seen Superbad, and most people who have seen Superbad love it. But why? Nobody's gonna tell you a solid answer outside of, oh, it's so funny, bro. It's the funniest movie ever. It's basically the quintessential millennial movie. It came out at a time when raunchy, sharp comedy movies were at an all-time high, where the plot doesn't really matter as long as the actors are witty enough. This era of movies is mainly led by Judd Apatow, with his film The 40-Year-Old Virgin starting the trend and setting the stage for way too many of the same goddamn movie with the same goddamn poster. One thing I should mention is that I generally don't like any of these movies. Every single comedy movie that came out in this time period suffers from the same exact problems. They all have very thin plots and thin premises. They have the same actors, so if you don't like those actors, you're kind of screwed. And they all have horrible pacing. I mention that word a lot in my videos. Bad pacing can really mess up a movie. If you start to get bored, it's probably because the pacing is bad. And this is especially important in comedies. If you put all the craziest, funniest moments in the beginning of the movie, then there isn't really anything left. The wildest thing that happens in Bridesmaids happens in the first third of the movie, and it never gets that crazy again, so it just feels kind of weird. Meanwhile, in Some Like It Hot, widely believed to be one of the best comedies ever made, the best joke in the whole movie is saved for the very end. Now, the problem with talking about comedy movies in a critical way is that everybody's gonna tell you, well, comedy is subjective, and yes, that is true to some degree. But like any other art form in the whole world, there's a way to do it well and a way to do it not so well. A good comedy will tend to use escalation, gradually building up the events of the film while keeping a steady stream of the funnies. Superbad is the one movie in this era of comedies that does this the best. Superbad manages to stay consistently funny, but unlike other movies in the Apatow pit, the characters never stop the flow of the movie to tell jokes. In the beginning of the movie, when we first meet our characters, they're ogling at a titty magazine. Now, any other movie that's like this would be using this scene to show us, hey look, the characters are really fucking horny. And that's it. But this movie uses this as an opportunity to begin explaining the current romantic issues that the characters are experiencing. Within just a few minutes, the movie has already told you everything you need to know about the characters and what the story's going to be about, and it happened in a natural way. It may seem like an obvious thing to do right, like yeah, the dialogue should service the story, but if you've watched any other comedy movie that came out in this era, or even comedies that are out now, you'll see that there isn't always a balance. The balance of story and humor allows Superbad to disguise itself as a raunchy teen sex comedy while actually being a surprisingly tender coming-of-age story. Sex may be the announced goal of the characters, but we as viewers aren't really convinced that the movie's about that. For instance, in a regular boner comedy movie, this scene would be completely different. The two main characters need to be shoved out of this scene for narrative purposes. So they see someone that they used to know who supposedly has
The biggest tits I've ever seen, I think.
Now, a normal sex comedy would show the lady running around in slow motion. Alright, you can imagine it in your head. I don't even need to explain. But it's not important to this story, so you don't see her.
I gotta catch a glimpse of these warlocks. Let's make a move.
I also love how in a movie where the main character's goal is supposedly to get laid, you get the most hilariously awkward sex scenes of all time. This is clearly not the point of the movie.
You're such a smooth. Thank you. You would too if you were a man.
Now, if you try to summarize the plot of Superbad as quickly and easily as possible, it wouldn't be that hard. Two high school seniors try to get laid at a party. That's probably how most people would describe it. But it's actually way more complex than that. And that's where this movie gets a lot of its charm. The real story here is a lot more subtle and a lot more relatable. Two high school seniors who have been friends since childhood attempt to prove their worth at an end-of-the-year party. Evan, played by Michael Cera, doesn't really care about getting laid. He just really wants to get closer to the girl he likes while attempting to distance himself from his best friend Seth, who he secretly thinks has been holding him back from enjoying his years in high school. Seth, on the other hand, has a fucking burning desire to get laid, but that stems from his insecurities and lack of confidence. He secretly knows he's been holding Evan back for their whole childhood, so he acts out and he says crude shit because he thinks people won't take him seriously anyway.
Plus, you scratch our backs, we'll scratch yours.
Well, Jules, the funny thing about my back is that it's located on my cock.
All while this is happening, we have Fogel, who has an entirely different story arc from the other characters. This clearly isn't a story about horny teenagers, though it may look like that on the surface. And what really carries this movie are the performances.
Fuck, Evan, we're down 2 points.
Fucking calm down, Greg. It's soccer. It's soccer.
Michael Cera is doing the Michael Cera thing, but it works perfectly fine here because he balances perfectly with Jonah Hill. And while this movie has people who have done comedy before, people didn't really have most of these actors on their radar until this movie came out. I really feel like I knew people like this in high school, and that helps the movie connect with people so well.
I'm the one with the fake ID.
Well, now cut your dumb little fucking face off, throw it over mine, and get your ID and buy it my fucking self!
Oh, really? You don't have the technology or the steady hands to pull off a procedure like that, so ha!
And like I mentioned before, the movie is consistently funny. And yes, I understand still, I'm gonna say it over and over again, that comedy is subjective. Like I said, I don't really tend to enjoy comedies like these. I enjoy comedy that leans on the side of absurdism. So it's kind of weird that I like Superbad so much, because Superbad is really straightforward. While other movies are relying on over-the-top situations and characters, it's interesting to see a movie that doesn't bother with any of that, and it just balances everything else so perfectly that you don't need anything to be crazy. And like a lot of people probably already know, the key to great comedy is memorability. If a comedy movie isn't quotable, it's basically gonna die. But to me, there's a limit. I always feel like the least funny lines are the most memorable ones in any movie. For instance, another movie that people consider quotable is Step Brothers. I was in high school when this movie came out, and I looked like this. And I sat in front of a girl who would call me a curly-headed fuck. I thought she was hitting on me, and I had no idea that it was a reference to Step Brothers. By the way, Candace, if you're watching this, I'm still waiting for the day where we can be together. And then when I watched the movie later on, I didn't think it was that funny. Not because I was basically being bullied, but I just genuinely didn't understand why everybody thought that line was so fucking hilarious. And in fact, my whole fucking school was apparently quoting Step Brothers every goddamn day because all the jokes were ruined for me. And that movie isn't funny if you know all the jokes already, but that's the thing about Superbad. I could spoil every joke for you and you'd probably still like the movie. Superbad has so many great moments that I personally still laugh every time I watch it, and I've seen it a lot of times. It could be an inconsequential one-off line.
What, so I gotta sit here and eat dessert alone like I'm fucking Steven Glansberg?
Or just one of the ongoing jokes, like how multiple characters over the span of the movie claim that Evan looks like somebody's brother.
He's Jimmy's brother, the guy, the singer. He's the guy with the beautiful voice I was telling you about.
You guys know a guy named Jimmy? You totally look like his brother. You totally look like his brother, man. You do.
Most of the laughs are just from the line delivery. Most of the things the characters say aren't even funny on their own, but it doesn't matter because it's how they're saying it.
Fogel, shut the fuck up. And take off your vest. You look like Aladdin.
Okay. $7? Are you fucking serious? This isn't enough for anything. What are you, a 6-year-old?
How old are you, McLovin?
Old enough.
Old enough for what?
Party?
The best and funniest scene is easily the McLovin scene. If you've never seen this movie, just watch the McLovin scene and then you will be sold. It is that good. This is easily one of the best comedic exchanges of all time.
They let you pick any name you want when you get down there.
And you landed on McLovin.
Yeah, I was between that and Muhammad.
Why the fuck would it be between that or Muhammad? Why don't you just pick a common name like a normal person?
Muhammad is the most commonly used name on earth. Read a fucking book for once.
This movie resonates incredibly well with people my age, with millennials. I mean, look at this tweet from Tyler, the creator. He basically says Superbad is the movie for people in our generation, and I think he's completely right. The movie is incredibly genuine in its presentation of what late teenage life is like. The movie doesn't over-romanticize high school. There are no cool kids or jocks, and the main characters are dorks, but they're not cartoonishly nerdy. The characters in this movie are just kids who lack confidence, not even just the main characters. You can see that in the side characters and even the adults. And this is the story of how the main characters gain confidence, which is something that people can relate to. And there's no crazy shit that happens to these characters. Everything that happens could happen to you or me. Trying to get alcohol without a legal ID, eating dessert alone in the lunchroom because your only friend isn't there, getting separated from the only person you know at a party and getting stuck in an awkward situation, trying to make moves on someone without knowing that they obviously like you back because you can't imagine someone actually liking you back. These are all things that aren't entirely uncommon to experience as a young adult. And yeah, you're probably not gonna drink and shoot guns with a couple of insane cops, but that's just there to make the story a little spicier. The main plot revolves around two friends learning that they have an unconditional love for each other while still being unable to avoid inevitably drifting apart from one another as they grow older. That's something that most people end up having to go through. The characters get what they wanted from the beginning of the story, but they also lost the only thing that they had at the beginning of the story. It's the definition of a bittersweet ending. And that's not something you usually see in a comedy movie. I don't know, I am actually pretty biased. I watched this movie at the perfect time and I can truly see no fault in it. I feel like everybody has that one comedy movie they can rewatch over and over, and to them it's the perfect movie. But I genuinely think this movie can speak to anyone in its target demographic. And I know I have some late high schoolers watching my videos, so if you kids haven't seen this movie, I recommend you give it a shot. I'm interested to see if it still resonates the same way as it did for people my age, and honestly, I think it'll work in exactly the same way.
Are you dicking kidding me?
Hey guys, wow, look!
I'm ling-linging myself. Let's watch some more Cosmonaut. He's black and he makes good videos. Stop!
Old Spice Gentleman's Super Hydration Body Wash. Vanilla and shea. 24/7 moisturization with vitamin B3.
How many dislikes does this shit have? People glaze this shit.
You're a fraud, Spider-Man!
So a couple weeks ago, I had a look back on the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies, and it was a lot of fun.
You are a shining example of snowflake millennials that don't understand jokes. Now, go wear the dress your husband bought you and stop making you too rigid.
I hadn't seen the movies in a while, and it helped me appreciate them a little bit better. I had lots of reasonable points that everybody unanimously agreed with, as usual.
I hope that you burn in the deepest hole on the hell and then doom guy appears in front of you. End.
But then I remembered that there's a Spider-Man movie that I haven't seen. And of course, I've heard terrible things about it. Every film critic on YouTube has already talked about this movie. But I kinda just got here, and I didn't get to talk about it, so I want my turn. I am of course talking about Amazing Spider-Man 2. However, there is one movie that came out before that. A movie that I have seen. Once. When it came out. So before we start, I have a quick thing to address about my last video, because it comes into play when reviewing these movies. Lots of people seem to mistake me teasing the campiness of the Sam Raimi trilogy as a bad thing. I said many times that I like how campy these movies are. I wholeheartedly believe that the corniness was intentional on Sam Raimi's part. My point was that the campiness is more of a product of the time, and this level of comic book silliness stands out by today's standards. But overall, I like the campiness, and I embrace it. It makes the movies 100% more enjoyable. But I'm not bringing this up to save face. You guys know I don't really care if people disagree with me or misinterpret my videos. I'm bringing this up because this is exactly why I hate the Amazing Spider-Man movies. At their worst, the Sam Raimi movies are still fun to watch. The worst one in the trilogy is really funny. Like, you can't have a bad time watching this movie. But these movies are fucking miserable to watch. They have little to no humor. They have almost no signs of life whatsoever. You don't have any uplifting or inspiring moments like the Spider-Man movies that come before or after. You don't have likable characters and charming, over-the-top performances. This review took a really long time to make because I couldn't even sit down and finish Amazing Spider-Man 2 in one go. It took me 3 days to watch it completely. 3 days! So with all that said, let's get started. We're gonna start with the first movie, The Amazing Spider-Man.
Why does he hate it?
Now, if I'd never heard of Spider-Man, if I wasn't a huge fanboy cuck shill like I am, would I hate this movie? No, probably not. There are two ways to approach a review of this series: as a Spider-Man fan and as a film fan. For instance, YMS's review from a few years ago very much focuses on how this movie fails as a film, while Screen Crush's video looks at how the movie fails as a Spider-Man film. Now, as someone who really likes Spider-Man and someone who really likes movies in general, I'm gonna try to do both. As far as general story structure, pacing, and acting go, things could be way worse. It's not really remarkable, like there's really nothing interesting happening here, but there's nothing horrible either. Now, I'm of the opinion that you can change stuff about superheroes in their movies if it makes the movie better. I already talked about how changing the Mandarin into a different character wasn't a bad idea, and how it actually worked out pretty well. Currently in the movies, Thor is a fucking clown, and everybody likes it, including myself. This is not how he is in the comics. He's not a fucking goofball. But they decided to make him funnier because he just wasn't resonating with audiences. These changes aren't bad, they actually make the characters a little better. However, when you make Batman pull out a gun and shoot people, I don't think that's a very good change. I don't think you should have done that. And that's the main problem with this entire series. It doesn't understand Spider-Man. It doesn't understand the stuff that makes Spider-Man work. So let's run down all these little issues because the little stuff really adds up. So the second this movie starts, we are shown the first thing that's wrong with this series. It over-romanticizes the concept of Peter Parker's parents. Say that 3 times fast. Peter Parker's parents. Actually, it wasn't that hard. It was actually pretty easy to say. Anyway, now the comics have done this a little bit too, but it's not something that's ever focused on, because Peter Parker's parents don't fucking matter. It's kind of asking a lot for the audience to care about Aunt May, Uncle Ben, and his mom and his dad all in one movie. That's too much, and it's unnecessary. There's no reason to have his parents be so important in this movie. If you completely take these two characters out, it does not change the narrative one bit. Instead, it just becomes, oh, Norman Osborn created the spiders. He created the superpowers. Okay, that's exactly what it's like in the Ultimate Spider-Man series. That's exactly what it's like in the original Sam Raimi movies. I really do not understand why his parents are so focused on in these movies, because it doesn't go anywhere. It's not that hard to motivate Spider-Man. Show me Uncle Ben getting capped, have Aunt May say something nice, bing bang boom, it's a Spider-Man story. It's not that hard. Now, the second movie talks about his parents way more, so we're gonna save it for that movie. For now, let's talk about the next shitty thing in this series, Andrew Garfield. Andrew Garfield is an actual good actor.
Sorry, my Prada's at the cleaners! Along with my hoodie and my fuck you flip-flops, you pretentious douchebag!
You can tell that all the things that are wrong with his character are really not his fault, and that he was told to do this shit. But I did rip into Tobey Maguire pretty egregiously, so we gotta be fair.
Back to me.
Like I said, Tobey Maguire was doing a way better job than Garfield as Peter Parker. And that's because his version of Peter Parker was written way better than this one. He was a huge nerd, and he was a fucking loser. Now yeah, Andrew Garfield has these scenes of technobabble where you can see that he's actually kind of intelligent.
How did you come up with this?
And in some scenes, he's a fucking idiot.
It's called strategy. I'm sure you're aware of the term strategy. You've probably heard about that in school.
But he has way too much confidence. He doesn't have that wallflower quality that Peter Parker needs. He's not a nerdy outcast. He's a fucking skater punk. He's less geek and he's a little more freak, if you get what I'm saying. You get it? I referenced the show that the Green Goblin's in. Anyway, and this is a core aspect of Peter Parker that I think you should not change under any circumstances. I made fun of Tobey Maguire's punchable face, but I think the punchable face is way better than the sexy face. Can we please tone down the sensual male model expressions? My daughter's gonna be home from school. I don't want her seeing this shit.
Just,
So in the first flash-boarded bully scene, it's not even Peter Parker being picked on. It's some random fucking kid. This is like the first red flag of the movie. If Peter's not even the guy being picked on, then something's not right here. Honestly, I think the thing is, Andrew Garfield is way too tall and way too good looking to be held upside down by his fucking underwear, so it just wouldn't have worked out. So Peter goes to Oscorp to meet Dr. Connors because of some weird shit with his dad. It doesn't really matter. What does matter is that Peter sneaks into this demonstration by stealing somebody else's intern badge. Then we have to watch that kid who earned his right to be there while he's dragged out screaming. That's fucked up. So then Peter follows this random dude and sneaks into this facility for almost no reason. He came here to see Dr. Connors, but he kind of just goes off and gets himself into danger. I thought the goal was to talk to Dr. Connors because you thought he had a connection to your dad. How is there nobody else in this part of the facility? How come he can just walk into the spider lair without anybody noticing? Anyway, despite all that, the movie is now going to remind us that it was edited by 3 people. Who the fuck cut that sequence together? That was horrible. Which one of you was it? Somebody has to explain themselves. Now this scene is almost enjoyable, but the editing is so fucking bad that I can't even have fun watching it. The idea here is that Peter just got bitten by the spider and his powers are kicking in on the subway ride home, so he's basically accidentally fighting people.
I'm so sorry.
I almost like this scene, but editing is very important. Like every time an attack lands, the screen goes black. It looks like a mistake. That doesn't look like it's there on purpose. So Peter Parker is like in his house now, and he doesn't know how to control his strength. And this is actually a really cute scene. I'm actually fine with this scene. This is the one first good scene in the movie. Another scene I like is where Peter uses his new powers to beat Flash Thompson at basketball. Not because I actually like the scene, but because it's fucking hilarious. Basketball scenes in superhero movies are always comedy gold. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Now, a lot of other critics have talked about how the scenes between Gwen and Peter are actually the one good thing in this series, and I disagree. Here they're annoying because they're too cute. You know what I mean? Which leads to these scenes being really, really fucking long and consisting of what I can only assume is just Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone ad-libbing and just making shit up. And it just goes on for so long.
Hello?
Character. It's my uncle. He's a pathological liar, and he thought you were someone else.
Man, you don't have me on your computer.
Yeah, I mean, like, I took a photo of the debate team, and you're in the debate team, so.
Right.
So, he must have seen, I was touching up stuff.
You're touching up stuff?
Is he gonna send me?
I'm not gonna answer that.
Can we fucking move on, please? Then we finally get to the scene where Uncle Ben needs to get killed, because we just gotta get it out of the way. Peter's just kind of flip-flopping between being a nice guy and being an asshole. It doesn't really seem like he even likes his uncle and his aunt. Then they have a fight and Peter runs away. So when Peter runs away, he goes to the store to buy milk.
What?
And then a very confusing scenario happens. So Peter goes to the store, he wants to buy his milk, but he doesn't have 2 cents. So he tries to steal 2 pennies out of the little take a penny, leave a penny thing. Then the guy says no, because obviously that's not how it works.
No. You can leave a penny, you can't take a penny.
What?
You can leave a penny anytime, you have to spend $10 to take a penny.
What?
You can't afford your milk, just step aside.
What?
But Daddy didn't give you enough milk money today?
What?
It creates this strange scenario because on one hand, Peter's being a huge dick, but the other guy's also being a huge dick. So Peter's like, okay, I can't buy my milk, so he goes to leave. Then the next customer knocks this thing over so that he can steal money from the register, and then he gives Peter the milk. Okay, it makes sense so far. So then Peter's about to leave, and the shopkeeper runs out, and he's like, hey, stop that guy. Hey, random dude who I just talked shit to. Can you please assist me in apprehending a criminal? Why would anybody do that? Even if you didn't call him a fucking idiot 10 seconds before, no customer would help you chase after an armed thief. So anyway, this is where the weirdest shit happens. The thief runs a block down the street, and then he trips, and his gun falls out of his pocket or whatever. But Uncle Ben's right in front of him, so he screams and tries to go for the gun. Why did you do this? Nobody was in any danger. Were you trying to die? So yeah, that's how Uncle Ben dies. Like a fucking idiot. After that, we have a scene where Flash Thompson is nice to Peter Parker because his uncle died. And I actually like this part. 2 good scenes so far. But then, this movie commits what I consider to be the biggest sin in this small series of films. Peter's entire motivation for becoming Spider-Man, for putting on the mask and swinging around, is not, you know, with great power comes great responsibility, I need to protect people. He does this out of revenge. He scours the streets looking for Uncle Ben's killer. He assaults random people. He makes a costume so the people he beats up won't recognize him and call the police.
Yeah,
this is for real. I can't make this up. Spider-Man makes his costume in this movie so people won't recognize him for his crimes. This movie treats this as a heroic moment. He's finally Spider-Man. He's doing his thing. But he's not doing it for the right reasons. And as an audience member, you can tell. It doesn't feel right. Something's tonally off here. One of the things that bothers me the most is that he's not even stopping some of these criminals. He lets some of them go because they're not the guy he wants to kill. He's not doing the crime-fighting thing because of selflessness. I cannot express how much I hate this. It really fucks with me. Oh, also, I should mention that the Spider-Man suit in this movie looks like fucking shit. It's awful. He also doesn't do the fucking Spider-Man web-shooting hand thing half the time. This thing, he doesn't do that half the time. That's the only thing I expect. This is a Spider-Man movie. This is what his hand looks like. This is what it looks like. It's the first thing you have to get right. It's the first fucking thing! So Andrew Garfield has the Spider-Man suit. He has his web shooters. He's confident in his abilities. This is the first scene with him, and he comes across as a fucking villain. He's not funny. He's a jackass. And then he even says he would have beat the shit out of this guy if it was the person he was looking for.
Ooh, this could have gotten a lot worse. Now hold still.
This is not Spider-Man. Somebody needs to stop this menace. I'm gonna take a little break here, guys, to tell you a story. In Amazing Spider-Man 698, we start off the story by seeing Peter being a little bit off. He's acting kind of similar to how Andrew Garfield acts in this movie. He's kind of mean, but not in an evil way. He's just kind of a dick. And then it gets progressively worse. And as a reader, you're like, okay, wait a minute. It was a little noticeable at first, but at this point, Peter Parker's hitting on women who aren't Mary Jane while he's on a date with Mary Jane. He seems to not really care about the lives of others. Something isn't right here. What is going on? Why is Peter such an asshole in this comic book? But then by the end of the story, you find out that wasn't Peter Parker. That was some other dude. I'm not gonna spoil who it is because that's one of the best Spider-Man stories, but it's so well written because you as a reader know that something isn't right because you're so familiar with Spider-Man. The whole story relies on your expectations of how Peter Parker is supposed to act.
Bro!
People know what kind of person he's supposed to be, even if you don't know Spider-Man that well. What I'm trying to say is that this is the problem these movies have. If you don't get Peter Parker right, people aren't gonna be sold. You're not gonna get people to like these movies. It may seem like a small thing, but like I said, the little shit adds up. Now we get to another part of the movie that I like. It's just this shot of Dr. Connors looking at the reflection of his arm. This is a really good shot. I think this is really cool. Anyway, now we have another scene of romantic ad-libbing.
Yeah, they're beautiful, right?
They're beautiful.
They were nice.
No, they're beautiful.
I'm sorry.
No, it's impressive. They actually held together very well.
I also love how Captain Stacy describes Spider-Man in this movie.
He's an amateur who's assaulting civilians in the dead of night. He's clumsy, he leaves clues, but still dangerous.
Yeah, you said it, brother. Fuck Spider-Man. That guy's a menace. And since that scene's over, we have to go back to Emma Stone and Andrew Garfield making strange, inhuman noises at each other.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
No. Don't. It's impossible.
Jesse. What? What?
So after that, the lizard attacks people on a bridge and Peter saves them, and he finally learns how to be a fucking hero. The movie is halfway over, and Peter Parker finally learned how to be a good person. But then after that, the lizard finds out who Spider-Man is because Peter Parker put his name on the camera that he brought to the lizard's secret lair. Are you fucking serious? Come on, man.
Easy, bug boy.
Wait, what did you just say?
Easy, bug boy.
I can't be the only one who heard that. Also, I should mention that in these movies, the second one included, the effects are pretty good. The lizard looks like a fucking Goomba from the Mario Brothers movie, but other than that, things don't look too bad. However, what is bad is the lizard's plan to turn everyone in New York into lizards. I almost can't say that sentence out loud without laughing.
You mean people are pissed off because he tried to turn everyone in New York City into giant lizards?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. So yeah, Peter Parker beats up the lizard, Captain Stacy dies, and then his dying wish to Peter Parker is for him not to date Gwen Stacy. Damn, dude, that's cold-blooded. You're gonna do him like that? Alright. But what I love in this is that Peter's actually gonna go through with this. He actually breaks up with Gwen. But then of all people, Aunt May is the one to tell him, hey man, you should go fuck that girl. And he's like, okay, sure.
Ah!
Yeah,
It doesn't
that's how the movie
work.
ends. With Peter Parker not learning.
It's not in the mind. Hey. Bang! Let's go out with a bang! Bang, bang, bang! So, I haven't thought about it. Man, everybody's fucking locked in. Like, I can't, Oops. Today's Friday.
His fucking lesson.
Oh, yeah. What the fuck is this?
Traumatizing children.
Is it like Is it this world only, or is this my Minecraft fucking...
Peter Parker.
Picked a peck of pickled peppers, 5 out of 10.
Ryan Reynolds here for Mint Mobile. It turns out one of the fastest growing segments of people signing up for Mint are people over the age of 55. So I've decided to call our 55...
Yay.
So like I said in the last video, I haven't seen this movie before. So is it just as bad as I thought?
That's a question. That's a question.
No, it's actually worse. So in the first scene, we see more shit about Peter Parker's parents. I already said why I hate this, but with the context of the last movie, I hate it even more. In this series, the person who makes the radioactive spiders is Peter Parker's dad, and I really don't like that. The idea of Spider-Man should be that this is just a random thing that could have happened to anybody. Anybody could have walked in there and gotten bitten by the spider and become a superhero. That's what people want to see. Some stories have tried to change that, and they try to imply that, oh, maybe it was Peter's destiny to become Spider-Man. But people really don't like it, so it rarely sticks. So in this first scene, we see the event that kills Peter Parker's parents. I hate saying that. Peter Parker's parents. It just sounds weird. Whatever, anyway, this assassin sneaks onto their private jet, and he wants to kill them. I don't really care why he wants to kill them. It really doesn't matter. If you remove this scene entirely, it changes absolutely nothing. So this guy's plan is to kill Peter's parents. He kills the pilot, and he tries to talk to Peter's dad, and then he gloats before killing him, and then they all fight. It might become clear to you immediately that this does not feel like a Spider-Man movie. This feels like a James Bond movie. So then Peter's dad knocks out the assassin, and he just kind of lackadaisically tends to his wife while working on his fucking computer. Brought to you by Sony, by the way. Maybe you should kind of focus on the fact that there's no pilot for the airplane. I don't know, that's just me. That's what I would do, but what do I know? So anyway, the pilot, who's been dead since before the scene started, decides to do this. I mean, sure. Whatever. This is such a stupid fucking scene, and the movie literally just started. This is just the beginning of the film, ladies and gentlemen. So after this, we see Peter Parker, and I have to admit, I actually like this shot. This is literally the only shot in the entire movie that I like. That last scene was so fucking stupid that by the time you see Spider-Man, you're like, oh shit, I forgot what movie I was seeing. Alright, let's go. Also, like I said before, the effects in both of these movies are pretty good. And the Spider-Man suit in this one is probably the best looking movie suit out of all of them. That's it. Those are the only things I'm gonna say nice about this movie. Because for about 30 seconds into this sequence, you think to yourself, okay, this movie might not be as bad as everybody says. Maybe I won't mind that much. But yeah, no, this movie is fucking terrible. Everything is wrong with it. So the movie starts with Peter chasing the rhino downtown. Now, people have mentioned this before, so I'll bring it up very briefly. But instead of stopping the rhino right when he has the chance, he instead tells jokes and fucks around and lets the rhino kill people and cause more damage. And then after all those people die, he hangs out with Jamie Foxx in this really weird-ass interaction.
Like that? Alright, listen to me. Now I need you. You're my eyes and ears out here. Alright? Alright.
What the fuck? Peter Parker, there is a man killing people. Can you stop fucking around? Oh, by the way, I really quick have to show you guys something. Now, there's a problem with these movies that I didn't mention when I was talking about the last movie, because it's way worse in this one. And that is Peter Parker's weird accent.
Yeah, you better hurry up. Party's over.
No.
You gotta get a job.
He has this rough New Yorker accent, and in this one, it's just way too aggressive. It's like the fake voice that Tom Holland uses as a joke in Homecoming.
My dad left a briefcase. That's all I got. Briefcase full of junk. Whatever. I don't know. I try to think about it.
Hey, how you doing? Don't worry about it. I got you.
Also, if you thought the editing in the last movie was bad, this is just incomprehensible. Sometimes you'll have a scene where you can tell that they just mashed 2 takes together that didn't have anything to do with one another. Characters will be talking, and then the next line is responding to something that we haven't even heard.
All night? I want to hear it all night long.
Over and over again, all night long.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
Again. Okay.
It's kind of hard to explain, but it makes the scenes very confusing. So Peter's getting like these weird PTSD flashbacks of Captain Stacy, so he decides that he's actually gonna dump Gwen once and for all. He gets back with her like 8 times in the movie, so this really doesn't matter. But for now, Peter Parker is single and he is going to do Spider-Man stuff. We get a nice montage of Peter being Spider-Man, and I actually really like this montage. If I just think of this montage without any other context, I would not assume that it's from this movie.
You're that spider guy.
Spider-Bed.
Huh?
Spider-Bad.
Remember when I said there was no more good stuff in this movie? For real, I mean it. This is the last scene that's good. So now we see Jamie Foxx again, and he is now a delusional mess because Spider-Man was fucking flirting with him earlier. He now thinks Spider-Man is his roommate slash best friend. Even Gwen gets kind of upset that Spider-Man and him shared a little romantic moment together. So right after that, we are shown Harry Osborn, played by Dane DeHaan. And he just literally shows up in the movie. And he acts like he was there from the very beginning. In his subplot, he finds out that his dad, Norman Osborn, is dying from the Osborn curse. Their words, not mine. It is a disease that is never explained that Harry is now dying from. So basically, he just enters the scene, finds out that he's dying, and that's gonna be what the movie's about. So this eventually leads to Harry looking for ways to cure himself, which brings him to the conclusion that he needs Spider-Man's blood to create a cure. What the fuck? It might now become apparent to you that this movie has a lot going on. It's like how in Spider-Man 3 had a bunch of subplots that were trying to fight for the spotlight, except here, they're all happening at the same time, and they have nothing to do with one another. You've got Peter Parker fucking looking for his parents, which goes nowhere and just kind of ends. You've got Peter and Mary Jane, sorry, who the fuck is this? Gwen Stacy? Whatever. Peter and this chick fucking going back and forth, will they, won't they, the whole movie, and then she fucking dies, so whatever. You have Harry looking for a cure for his fucking leper disease, which has nothing to do with the other two plot lines that I described. It's really hard to talk about why this movie doesn't make sense, because as you watch it, you'll realize it just doesn't make any sense. You won't know what's happening. So anyway, Jamie Foxx falls into a vat of eels, and he turns into Electro. And yes, like many have said before me, the electric eels magically fix the gap between his teeth. This is something completely superfluous that doesn't even need to happen. Yet when you see it, you cannot stop wondering why it happened. So in the next scene, we see more characters that were supposed to have future films. You're in this movie?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now we've reached the point in the movie where Harry and Peter have to meet each other, and the movie expects us to believe that they have been friends for years. Hold on a second. Excuse me. What? This comes out of fucking nowhere. Why didn't you mention this before? Harry has never been mentioned in the entire last movie. Why did you act like you knew nothing about Oscorp in the last movie, but you secretly knew the heir to the Oscorp Empire? We get this scene of them skipping stones and talking about how good of friends they are. It's like the most cliche shit I've ever seen. I hate this. It's like those scenes in the Star Wars prequels where Obi-Wan and Anakin talk about how they're great friends and they did all these adventures that we don't get to see.
You fell into that nightmare, Master, and I rescued you, remember?
Oh, yes.
Anyway, we have another scene of Peter and Gwen flirting with fucking improvised dialogue. These two were dating when the movie was filmed, so I'm pretty sure they just turned on the camera and they were like, okay, Emma, Andrew, just go hang out. We're gonna record you hanging out. It'll be great. We'll put it in the movie. We'll do it for every fucking scene.
No more of this. No more of this little nose rub you do.
This?
Don't think I haven't paid.
What am I supposed to do? It's allergy season.
This is killing me. You're just spitting in the face of my brown nose. I'm not.
Come on.
And then in this conversation, he admits to her that he's been following her on the fucking rooftops dressed as Spider-Man, and this somehow doesn't scare the shit out of her. So now Electro, with his newfound powers, goes into Times Square and makes a big ol' ruckus. And he gets kind of upset and scared, so Spider-Man tries to calm him down. Now, I've heard a lot of people in their reviews say that this scene is stupid because Electro only becomes evil after Spider-Man forgets his name. But that's not really what happens. What really happens is somehow stupider if you really think about it. We see that Max Dillon is not very mentally stable here. He thinks that Spider-Man is his best fucking friend. Spider-Man noticing his name tag in the beginning of the movie was something that was very important to him. So if it actually happened that way, I would have bought it. I would have been fine with it. But no, when Peter forgets his name, he's actually pretty chill about it. He's not that upset. He gets over it. However, right after that, Peter saves this guy from a falling billboard, and everybody cheers for him. And then all the screens in Times Square show Spider-Man instead of Electro. Now, first of all, why is everybody gathered around to watch this happen? That's kind of a theme in this movie. Every fight scene that happens has fucking people just standing around. Police usually make people go away when there's an emergency. But in this movie, whenever there's a fucking fight, people just show up to watch like it's New Year's Eve. People even bring their fucking children. This is not where you want your kid to be. They could get shot. Something bad could fucking happen. So after this, Electro decides that Spider-Man is his true enemy, and he attacks him and the people on the Times Square steps. Now, I admit this is kind of nitpicky, but the people start running up the steps. But in Times Square, those steps don't go anywhere. Where are you guys running to? But after that, they just go down the steps anyway, so what the fuck was the point of that? So after that, Electro flies around killing people until Spider-Man sprays him with a hose.
What is that? 6.9? 6.6? Not bad.
Spider-Man literally left the fight, put on a fireman's hat, and then saved the people who were being murdered. The fucking hat just shows me that you were wasting time when people were being murdered. Peter Parker just doesn't care in this movie. But anyway, this movie isn't even halfway over, and we haven't even seen the other villain yet. Also, hey look, I'm in the movie. Brought to you by Sony. Oh, and right after that, brought to you by Sony again. Jesus Christ, at least space them out. After that scene, we get to the real reason why I personally have never seen this movie. And the reason isn't exactly what you might expect. Out of nowhere, the next scene is a montage of Peter deciding to do some detective work to find out secrets about his dad. Why is he deciding to do this now? Well, because the movie wants him to. He just had a fight with Electro that he barely won. He just had a fight with Gwen Stacy that he didn't win. Instead of solving the problems that have already been established in the film, he's gonna act like those problems don't exist, and he's gonna do something completely different. Because the screenplay is a fucking mess. And during this montage, we have the song Gone, Gone, Gone by Philip Phillips, also known as the For You song.
And I will do it
for you, for you.
I fucking hate this song. This song is on my list of most hated songs in the entire world, right under Crocodile Rock and Bad Reputation. I kind of like Bad Reputation when it's in Freaks and Geeks. Hey, we talked about Freaks and Geeks twice in one video. Look at that. Now, my friends know that I hate this song with a burning passion. And when they went to go see this movie without me, I asked them how it was, and they were like, don't see it. The fucking For You song is in it. And that is the reason why I have never seen this movie until today. Because I don't like that song. So then Harry calls him up in the middle of this and he's like, hey bitch, remember I'm still in the fucking movie. And then he's like, hey, listen, I need Spider-Man's blood because I need to heal my mysterious fake movie disease.
He can do everything else a spider can, including self-heal.
Wait, what? How do you know that? How do you know he can self-heal? That never happens in the movie. It's one of his powers in the comics, but he's not fucking Wolverine. He can't just regenerate. Are you okay? Do you need a copy of the script right now? There's no reason for Peter Parker to say no to this. His buddy's like, hey man, I need this dude's blood or I'm gonna die. And Peter's like, ew, no. I don't want to do that. So now Peter shows up to Harry's house dressed as Spider-Man just to tell him that he doesn't want to give him his blood. Not only is he being an asshole by not giving him his blood, he's being even more of an asshole by just showing up to tell him that he's not going to give him his blood. He's gonna die anyway. I don't see you trying to help with any other ideas.
You're a fraud, Spider-Man!
Okay, I take it back. This movie is hilarious. And then, after that, Peter, in a fit of rage, throws his calculator at the wall. And then inside the calculator are these fucking gold doubloons that I guess his dad hid in the calculator. Okay, sure. But then Peter brings them into the subway and uses them on this random coin slot, and then a train comes out of the fucking ground. What is happening? By now, I've forgotten that Electro is in this movie. The pacing in this movie is so fucking bad. This is the hardest review I've ever made because I can just tell you what happens and you just have to assume that I'm not leaving anything out because I'm telling you everything. This doesn't make any sense. So the subplot about his dad ends here. He finds out that his dad made the spiders, which is something we already fucking knew! So now Harry is brooding on his Blade Runner set, and Jyn Erso comes to comfort him, because they want to remind you that she is actually in the movie.
Go home, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia.
So then Harry gets framed for what happened to Electro, and he gets kicked out of Oscorp. He then breaks into the facility that Electro is in by overpowering the armed guards. Now, I'm not really a very big guy myself, so believe me when I say with confidence that I could definitely kick Dane DeHaan's ass. So to help me believe that he overpowers two fully grown armed guards sorry, I'm not buying it. So then Electro and Harry go into Oscorp, they kill a bunch of people, and then Harry finds the Krabby Patty's secret formula that will heal his mysterious disease. And then he just immediately becomes the Green Goblin. Fine. I don't care. So at this point, the only thing I have to look forward to is the fight between Peter and the bad guys. But then Gwen Stacy kills Electro with a car, and then Peter blows him up. So yeah, in this movie, Spider-Man just blew the villain up. I just don't have it in me to care anymore. Now normally this is where the movie would end, but we have a whole other supervillain that was thrown in at the last minute that we have to deal with. So after Electro dies, Harry shows up and we finally see that he looks like this now. Even the characters don't know how to react to how horrible he looks. Like, look at his face. He's like, oh shit, maybe I don't look as cool as I thought. So yeah, I guess they didn't want another Power Ranger looking Green Goblin. Yeah, instead, let's make him look like a fucking crackhead. So then they have a really, really, really quick fight. And when I say really quick, I mean really quick. And as I said, the whole purpose of this fight and this movie was to kill Gwen Stacy. So, Gwen Stacy dies. Personally, as a big Spider-Man fan, I feel like killing Gwen Stacy isn't really possible in a movie. The death of Gwen Stacy is one of the most important comics of all time. Back then, you didn't kill the love interest. You didn't kill Lois Lane. It just wasn't done. The story's good because it showed that comics finally grew up. It showed that comics could do whatever they wanted and they could subvert your expectations. The whole purpose of the story is to surprise you. Everybody knows Gwen Stacy as Spider-Man's girlfriend who dies. You can't put her in movies because people already know what's gonna happen. I'm not saying that you shouldn't try, but you should try way harder than this. So the movie's wrapping up and Peter Parker is sad and he's like, I'm not gonna be Spider-Man anymore. This is all my fault. And yeah, it actually is, so I'm glad you realize now. But then he watches like a fucking YouTube video of Gwen or whatever, and then he gets over it. Just like that. Brought to you by Sony. After all the bullshit in this movie, it ends the same way that it begins. With Peter Parker showboating and putting random people's lives at risk and having not learned a damn thing. Personally, I have had enough of bad Spider-Man movies, so I'm done making Spider-Man videos for a while. I need my fucking rest, okay guys? So I'm giving this terrible movie a 2 out of 10.
Whoa!
I honestly wonder sometimes what The Amazing Spider-Man 3 would have been like. Maybe it would have been pretty good. Or maybe...
Part of the discussion was that possibly in 3 there was this idea at one point that Spider-Man would be able to take this formula and regenerate the people in his life that had died. So there was this discussion about that Captain Stacy would come back even bigger and...
Yeah, actually, never mind. I'm good.
A man had problems with his Frostbank app,
yeah,
so Frost Tech Support drove...
What? The fucking blowout, you dicking me? Spurs. You fuckers. You fuckers. You fuckers. Did you know you're a fucker? You fucker. You fucker. You fucking... Well, this is kind of the test, like, when it... Because they've lost the past, like, how many? Well, it's been a little rough. I would do it for you, Lately I've been moving on. I wanna remember the bomb for you, Lately. No, wait. What? No. Butthole. Pay attention. Monster. How should I feel? Creatures lie here. Looking through the window. Monster. How should I feel? Creatures lie here. Looking through the window. Did I mess this up? No, cunt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Huh. Right. Just count on 38 minus 25. That's 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Alright. I thought I messed it up.
Really fun? Like,
Does whatever a spider can, spins away.
Whenever I post a video at least partially related to Spider-Man, I always get vultures flying down yelling at me about how Homecoming isn't that good. Spider-Man 2 is better. Tom Holland can suck my dick. So the other day I was like, okay, fine. I haven't seen the Sam Raimi movies in a pretty long time. Maybe I need to refresh my opinions a little bit. So I went ahead, I rewatched the movies, and holy shit, these do not hold up. Now, I like to think I have a pretty good track record when it comes to my opinions, alright? I have a decent following of naive 11-year-olds, eccentric European weeaboos, and depressed alcoholic college students that seem to like and listen to my opinions. But I'm aware that I'm kinda pushing it this time. I'm just saying, I think the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies aren't as good as you remember. Now, I still love these movies, all 3 of them, to be exact. Yeah, you heard that right. But it annoys me that people look at the first 2 as some sort of superhero holy grail, when they're not, like, really that good anymore. So let's look at all 3 of these movies and see why they really don't hold up and are kind of a little bit, just a little bit, of a mess. And yeah, I know everybody says Spider-Man 3 is the worst one, but if you ask me, all 3 of these movies are basically the same, and I'll elaborate more on that later. But for now, let's start at the beginning. Let's start with Spider-Man 1. So the first thing we're greeted with is a corny narration by Peter Parker, played by good old American sweetheart Tobey Maguire. And this is the one thing that I hate the most about the Spider-Man trilogy. I hate Tobey Maguire. Ever since I was a kid, I never really saw him as my definitive Peter Parker. He's kind of meek and wimpy, and that's supposed to be Peter's personality at first, but he never really gets over it. Even when he's Spider-Man, I still want to kick his ass because he's a huge dork.
It's you who's out, Gobby. Out of your mind.
And sometimes Tobey's performance is just really bad. There are some actors doing a really good job in these movies, so you really notice when somebody isn't doing that great of a job.
who am I? You sure you want to know?
Blech. Also, at the mere 6-minute mark, we are shown the greatest character in the entire trilogy, Willem Dafoe as Norman Osborn. I'll get more into him later, though. For now, let's look at how Harry introduces his dad.
Peter, may I introduce my father, Norman Osborn?
Why would you introduce your dad by his full name? That's kind of weird, but whatever. Also, look at these high school students. Now, I know a lot of movies have people who aren't really playing their age, but this is kind of ridiculous. You see this guy? That's supposed to be their teacher. He's younger than they are. I gotta say, though, I love how every line this man says is whispered and sounds very aggressive and threatening.
The next person who talks will fail this course. I kid you not.
Do you know that this is the largest electron microscope on the eastern seaboard?
You were talking throughout that woman's entire presentation.
So anyway, Peter gets bitten by some brown recluse and then he dies peacefully in his sleep. So in the next scene, we get the beginnings of Norman Osborn's supervillain origin story. And I gotta say, I do like the pacing in this movie for the most part. Things go along in a fairly well-balanced way. You see the beginning of Peter's origin, and then right after you see the beginning of the villain's origin. It just keeps going back and forth like this. However, his motivations aren't really that clear before he turns into a crazy monster person. He seems mad that they're taking the project back to formula.
Back to formula?
I'm a dumb internet movie boy, so I don't know what that means, but it seems like he needs to get his little science project done really quickly or the army men won't be very happy with him. Next, we see the first scene of what I'm going to call corny Sam Raimi shit. Why are there skulls? It looks like I added those in post, but that's for real. This is fucking hilarious, and it only gets better from here. The next scene is even funnier. Norman goes ahead and decides he's gonna be the human test subject, and this fucking doormat just goes along with it. Oh, I guess I'll just clean up the broken glass, asshole. Also, I think this little part is hilarious. Well, either way, the experiment goes horribly wrong, and he dies. What?
Back to formula.
This is a comedy movie. I don't care what anybody tells me. Now you guys know the rest. I won't nitpick the rest of this first act because that would be way too easy. Like I could mention how Peter's just gonna walk to school, but then the bus just appears and he's like, oh no, wait, I'm supposed to run after the bus. Like what the fuck, you weren't even going to the bus stop. It's your own fault if you miss it now. And I'm most definitely not gonna mention this unfortunately aged joke.
That's a cute outfit. Did your husband give it to you?
What if he did make it for him? Would that be so bad? Wow, Spider-Man, you're pretty homophobic. But one thing that does bug me is the pivotal scene where Uncle Ben gives his iconic speech. Because he's actually chastising Peter Parker for fighting Flash Thompson in a previous scene. Except Peter was fighting in self-defense. And Uncle Ben's like, oh, well, you shouldn't have done that. Just because you can beat him up doesn't mean you should. So what does Peter do with this advice? He spends the rest of his life beating people up. The context just don't make no sense. However, on an unrelated note, I think it's time to bring up something that I love about these movies. And that's the extras. I'm serious, look in the background of any shot and just find a random person. You'll get a whole new level of entertainment out of these movies. In this movie, you'll see background characters that don't give a shit, people who have no idea where they are. Even main characters have a chance of devolving into idle sims when they're not the focus of the scene. It is really bizarre. So for those of you who aren't aware by now, this movie has a certain flow to it. We see Peter do stuff, and then we see Norman do stuff. And then Peter and Norman meet up again, and the whole thing goes on like that until the movie's over. And this works mostly because, like I said, Norman Osborn is fucking hilarious. Maybe it's just me, but every scene with him makes me laugh. He could be doing something completely normal, and it's still hilarious to me. It's like Willem Dafoe is an alien pretending to be a human.
Peter, the Science Award. That's terrific.
Yeah.
I am now going to share some of my favorite moments from Norman Osborn in this movie. I like the reaction he has when Harry offers Peter to work for him. He looks so happy. Look at his face. I don't even need to describe this part. It kind of speaks for itself. I love how his whole plan to recruit Spider-Man is to drug him, kidnap him, tie him up, and have a dad talk with him on a rooftop about how New Yorkers are dicks and they're not worth saving.
Right.
I like how he dresses up as an old lady, complete with a stock sound effect, just so he can get the jump on Spider-Man. And then the scene ends with this great line.
No one says no to me!
Sometimes he just shows up for no reason, like this jump scare. However, a character in these movies that I do not like is Aunt May. Aunt May has the worst pep talks in this movie.
I can't help thinking about the last thing I said to him. He tried to tell me something important, and I threw it in his face.
You loved him.
Wow, she's so wise. Aunt May is supposed to be Peter's moral compass, and in these movies, she's kind of rude. But I'll get into that in the next movie, where she is just the biggest asshole. Ow! So anywho, the second half of this movie hits, and you realize that we are now watching a completely different movie. And I couldn't be happier, honestly. This movie is so wild, and I think that's why everybody loves these movies. In the second half of the movie, we're also introduced to the actual best character, J. Jonah Jameson. Even when I read the comics, I hear his voice in my head. Not only is his performance good, but it's like his scenes have a completely different writing staff. His lines are legitimately funny in this.
Mr. Jameson, Spider-Man.
Hoffman?
Yeah?
Hoffman?
Yeah?
To the point where I'm pretty sure he's making some of this stuff up.
Spider-Man wasn't attacking the city. He was trying to save it. That's slander.
It is not. I resent that. Slander is spoken. In print, it's libel.
Also, do you guys remember that Elizabeth Banks is in these movies? Yeah, no. Nobody remembers that. So once the festival scene happens, we get a really good idea of how much this movie has completely lost it. Where before the special effects were mostly hidden or just briefly shown, this movie is now a CGI nightmare. And if you think I'm being mean to a movie that came out in 2002, let's see what a real critic has to say.
You know, my thumb is down on this movie, but it's sort of a split decision. When you see Spider-Man flying through the skies and leaping between buildings, he looks like an artificial cartoon character. He moves too fast, without the weight and presence of flesh and blood.
See, they even thought it looked like shit back then, so leave me alone. This part here always kind of bothered me too. See, Goblin has these fucking bombs that turn people into skeletons. Yeah, for real. Anyway, he throws it at this balcony, and Harry and MJ are also on this balcony, like they're right next to each other. but the bomb only kills these people. Not only kills them, it fucking vaporizes them. But why didn't MJ get hit? She saw it happen. She literally watched this happen right in front of her. But she's fine. I mean, maybe you gotta be like really, really close to it. I don't know. Now I'm gonna show you guys a brief clip, and it showcases exactly why I love this movie and why I think this movie is a huge joke. Everything that this movie symbolizes in my mind is in this clip.
Hello, my dear.
It's Spider-Man!
This clip has everything. Goofy-ass Willem Dafoe acting, screaming women, which Sam Raimi loves, by the way, but I'll get into that later, and hilarious extras.
It's Spider-Man!
I did not edit that clip to be any faster. That's just the pace of these movies. This festival scene is just really a masterpiece. I can cut out 5 seconds at any point of this whole scene, and you have unintentional comedy gold.
Hold it right there! I surrender!
Oh boy. So the scene ends with a nice 1-2 punch. First, we get one of the funniest lines in the movie.
Kill me again, Spider-Man!
And then Peter Parker kidnaps Mary Jane, and the crowd cheers him on for doing this. You don't think she needs to, like, go to the hospital? Because she was trapped under fucking rubble. And people have also pointed this out before, but that's obviously a mannequin in a Spider-Man costume, and her hair is blowing in the wrong way. Anyway, let's look at more goofy scenes out of context. This movie is so fucking funny. It's pretty clear that this movie is the goofiest thing to be put on film in the year 2002. I mean, the climax has the villain literally holding the love interest in one hand and a metal box of children in the other, and Spider-Man has to pick which one he's gonna save. If something this stereotypical happened in a superhero movie today, there would be public outcry about how silly it is. But to top it off, you get the funniest line in the whole movie. And I mean it. Out of everything I've shown you guys, this line is my favorite. I have memorized this speech. It is truly iconic to me as one of the greatest and cheesiest superhero movie monologues.
Spider-Man! This is why only fools are heroes. Because you never know when some lunatic will come along with a sadistic choice. Let die the woman you love, or suffer the little children.
Truly a masterpiece. As a regular superhero movie, I'm gonna give this a 6 out of 10. But as a comedy, 10s across the board, baby. Comedic gold.
Don't tell Harry.
When you shop in the Tom Thumb app,
Why do I
you
have
can count on
ads? I don't like. I have that blocked. My neck
The world
ass.
is in constant motion, and you have places to go. Enterprise has more vehicles and locations than anyone, so you can get just the kind of vehicle you need, when and where you need it. Enterprise, for lives in drive.
Suffer the little children.
Truly a masterpiece. As a regular superhero movie, I'm gonna give this a 6 out of 10. But as a comedy, 10s across the board, baby. Comedic gold.
Don't tell Harry.
So now we've arrived at the Citizen Kane of Spider-Man movies, or so people say. Spider-Man 2.1. That's the one I have, I'm sorry. Now while the point of this video is to bring up the crummy aspects of this
I don't. Here we go. Chunk paste. What's my seed? Isn't it 89? Is this where I am? There I am. Uh-oh. That's here. Look, yeah, it's the desert. Look at that shit. I don't know what the fuck this is. Or is this over here? Damn. Okay. So why is it not fucking taking me? need to cheat just to, like, get it to fucking work. Ugh. Because I can't fucking, like, do anything. Let me just... How do I keep fucking doing that? Give me a second, guys. Don't worry. I'm gonna fucking... I don't... No, because if I'm in creative mode, it should take me automatically. I don't fucking know why it doesn't. Oops. What? Alright, let's just go over here. I don't know if it's just based off where my spawn is. Like, if I'm just over hella lava and there's just nowhere for me to put it. But, like, this far... I've done... Oh, I thought it was working. No, it's just fucking lagging. What the fuck am I supposed to do? Help! Help! Yeah, what fucking plugin, numbnuts? What? Okay, well I don't want a server. That's why I put single player. Because what I don't get is why it works in the other world and not this one. Because, like, even though I'm using the exact same mods I used before, like, if we go in the test world, it works. But in the fucking, why is it so, like, fucky? Damn, what is happening? Hold on, what the fuck is, like, eating my computer's asshole? Am I being DDoS? What? Google Is it because of this? 292. Okay. Well, we can close that. I just say I have like 55 fucking tabs open. Oh. Well, deleting that brought my memory back up or down like 10%. But we gotta figure out why this isn't working. Because I've already tried. I've completely closed Minecraft. What? nether. What's a POI? Oh. Libba. No. Wow. Where the fuck is it? Oh. Nope. Should be fucking sending me. Trying to make a copy? I don't. Oh. Neck ass. Maybe I should have went in the copy. Yeah, what the hell? Ah. It just doesn't fucking take me. I don't wanna like. Hold on, we gotta. Bro, why is it like fucking like this? This is why I hate Minecraft. Is this cheating? Well, until I figure out why the fuck I can't go in the nether, I don't like really care what I do. I would think it was some sort of computer issue, but my test world works. When something is still eating my computer's ass. What's that 81? What the fuck are all these fucking tabs? Ow! Alright, let's just make a new world. Test. What I might have to do if my world just doesn't fucking work is just have to make a new world and then just give it. Oh, that's fucking bull. Is it like a bug? What the hell? the blood we spilled, the breaking of a bone, the hunt, the thrill of moving in the darkness over. Let me just make sure that this shit's working. Oops, I haven't touched this. Did that say fucking November? I wonder if maybe because I've already been in the Nether in the test world. But what the hell? Well, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. What the fuck? Okay, you know what? I think we're done. I'm not dealing with this shit. Oops. It doesn't matter. 3 fucking hours? Damn.